Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in positive territory ever so slightly. We're a little changed to start once again, coming off another very volatile session on Tuesday. One of the most impressive recent rallies in the afternoon, and a comeback from an early sell-off that we've seen in recent history for the market yesterday. We had the S&P 500 snapping, in fact, a 5-session losing streak at the end of the day, while the NASDAQ erased a 4% decline. Still closed down about 0.5%, but what a rally we saw in the afternoon into the close. The move followed comments from Fed Chair Powell, who said the economy is still nowhere near a point where they can start considering even looking at interest rates in the U.S. So that spurred on some buying. We are seeing Tesla shares bouncing back this morning. Kathy Wood's ARK Invest Innovation Fund buying the dip on Tesla. We'll talk about that. Workhorse, wow, what a sell-off we saw on Workhorse in the afternoon yesterday. 61% to the downside after the USPS contract goes to Oshkosh. We'll talk about both of those coming up. And we'll look at Fisker as well. News on Fisker this morning up significantly. It's Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see both Chinese markets significantly lower, 3 and 3.3% respectively. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up. Yeah, a little bit more positive here. You can see Germany 0.8% to the upside, the Swiss market 1.5%, Sweden even a full percent to the upside. Let's have a look at North America next and see, yeah, more positivity. The Dow just going positive there. NASDAQ back to the upside 0.3%, Brazil 0.6%, Bitcoin 4% on the way back higher. Crude oil up about a full percent, and gold, 0.08% to the downside, ever so slightly in negative territory. Good morning, guys. Another morning with lots to discuss. It's all about EV makers today, man. Fisker higher, we have Workhorse lower, we have Tesla trying to bounce back. Where do you guys want to start?
Trying to bounce back, Tesla is bouncing back. Look, there's a lot of names here. I feel like the battle is going to be, can you find like the short-term 1 or 3 minute chart that looks the best bottom to top from that little sell-off? And right here, just 15-20 minutes after the open, you had that hard bottom, which was unbelievable. Fisker gets the bounce because of Foxconn, so it might be leading the race. You saw some 15-20% moves from those lows. I think Tesla's around 20, but Fisker, puts in that 30% move to the upside, actually a little bit more than that, to that top at 21. It was an unbelievable thing to see. We had it was very exciting for us to trade live when we saw that bottom come in. It was a huge sell-off. I think a lot of people were real bearish off the open there, and some big short trades turn into just unbelievable long opportunities. And was I can't remember seeing a sell-off like that where the rebound, it's not just so much that it came back, it's how fast everything came back. Like even something like First Solar, like this Fisker, this top it made was like 18 minutes down, 18 minutes right back to that same level. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but just absolutely unbelievable time to be watching the markets and trading them, Sean.
It sure is. And I just want to give an update here. Brendan just mentioned Bitcoin on the rebound, but not for too long here. Down to 49 again. So we came in this morning and we were touching 51.2, 52 or so. Got as high as 51.4 at 5 a.m. here, and now we're just we're starting to head to the downside again. So I have SOS up here. I have a few different names that we're going to be looking at, but not to keep talking about Cardano, but another 16% today for that one. So we'll just keep on watching crypto. There's big spaces today. Palantir back up to 28, bounced off 28 again. So again, another buy. I tweeted that out yesterday, or just this morning actually, about how many times are we going to get the opportunity, guys, to sit here and buy Palantir at the levels that we like. And I mean, that's one time off when we talked about it, 24, 25 off the 3-day move, off earnings, and then the lockup. And then yesterday, I mean, unexpectedly, you get that bottom exactly again, and then welcome again to another. I mean, it was 6-7%. Now we're fading off a little bit, but we'll see. I do not think, I mean, here is the daily chart of the NASDAQ. This is just of the current contract, so that's why it starts back here in October. But you did see that bottom of 12, I mean, whatever it was, 12,750 or so here on the NASDAQ yesterday. What a great move, brings it right back into January lows. So that was a fantastic opportunity to buy yesterday. I mean, I guess, January lows down here, but close enough to January lows and now get a bump up. I don't think we're out of the water yet there, Brendan. It's going to be a fun one today. I'm bullish because of the rebound that we had, but I'm also wondering if, the sale continues on NASDAQ and goes to more value plays, right? That's what's happening. You're seeing a lot of value plays hold up. The casinos, the reopen plays, CCL, JP Morgan, the banks getting 52-week highs. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting day. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, either way, volatility is back and back in a big way. That means there's huge opportunity. Let's kick things off with a look at how traders here at Day Trade the World fared yesterday, because there's big numbers on this list. 157,000 to lead things off. A whole variety of markets in number one spot. 154 right behind that. Again, same story. Lots of different markets, lots of different opportunities. Look at OTC ping sheets there. 112,000 on its own, and then you drop down to 57,000 only. The CSE, some Forex, there's Forex trading, OTC ping sheets as well. So great opportunity still with increased volatility in this market. Before we get too far into things, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brendan, and hi guys. I wish you a beautiful, successful day. Please enjoy the show and don't forget to hit thumbs up. Let's get it started, Brendan.
Let's indeed get it started, guys. We learned yesterday afternoon that Workhorse was not going to get the United States Postal Service contract, and that quickly led to 50%, and then it ended up around 60, 61% tumble, I guess is a nice way to put it, in afternoon trading. It was halted multiple times. Hard to avoid this today, really. We can also look at OSK, which is that Oshkosh that out of nowhere, I guess, gets this contract from the USPS?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is one that we talk about this all the time when you have speculation that something is going to happen, and then in the case of something like like Churchill Capital, and everything goes as expected, and then you see what happens there. But this is what happens when you play that game and it goes the other way, right? So I think a lot of people thought that this was about as firm as it was going to get, and it gets pretty ugly. What I would say about this is just to only talk about the move to the downside. This is the value of having real-time news, or we have Brendan, we have Icon to our advantage, and something built in P Pro 8 as well to be able to get that news real time, because realistically, there was an opportunity. If you were caught in this, there was a real chance to get out at about 10% of the move to the downside. And that is absolutely legitimate if you know what's going on. Before any halts, it actually was a bit of bounce, some consolidation around 25 even. So, think about that when you're actively trading. Forget about the deer in headlights moment. If you have an out, you see something like that happening, quickly find out what's going on, and there was a chance to run to the exits. But at least so far, some of these levels, and when it finally bounced in the afternoon, look like they're going to possibly come into play here this morning, if only because it's got a very tight range pre-market, and it's done 3 million shares, so it's not as if it's not doing volume. So if it takes out a 1470 low, this thing is going to be, it's already short self-restricted, so you can't hit that big without an uptick, but things could get interesting down towards those lows on a 1470 break. Anytime a gap is this big to the downside, and this was true of Quantumscape the first time it went down. This was true of CCIV, which we talked about yesterday. I'm going to always be looking for momentum plays just because the gap fill is such a tremendous opportunity. And first things first, you look at like a 1620 pre-market high on something like a Workhorse, and you have to think about going in both directions, like I talked about in that trade about CCIV, and you start thinking about like a 1550 area for some breaks at the open. So there's no way to avoid a Workhorse, because I think the volatility is going to be here on day two. I'd rather be playing in both directions off key levels as opposed to even thinking about just making a bold prediction. Okay, we're going down further on Workhorse. Now I'll just play the momentum and not fight the tape on this one today.
Okay, so I just want to bring everyone's attention here to Nikola, just because, I mean, same space, you know, basically disappointing news came through for Nikola, and I just want to show the couple times that Nikola got spanked pretty badly here. Obviously, we know that time with GM when there were some misunderstandings about what was going on with their deal. Look, day 1 red, day 2 red, day 3 red, finally got some, you know, bunched up, you know, then we come again, red, red, red. Then we get some misses again on some of their reports for Nikola, and, you know, more bad news, loss of some contracts, you know, back and forth. You had Trevor Milton resigning. I'm not trying to say that Nikola is similar to Workhorse, but when you get into this space and there's high expectations for deals like this, and I mean, I see some of you guys talking here about OSK was never going to get denied. They have some government contracts, that's true. But Workhorse was banking, obviously, on that USPS deal. They don't get it. So just like when you have this negative sentiment on stocks that are high flyers and that have a built-in expectation, then yeah, you're going to get hit. And Workhorse today is going to be the same thing. Obviously, okay, my chart's still not changing. Let's go to Workhorse again. So the daily chart is just going to look absolutely nasty. It started up here at $42 when we started to get some of that rotation back into value and out of some of these high flyers. So, I mean, I'm sorry about anyone 2 weeks ago upside. This is the name that I'm not in. I'm in Fisker, I'm in Nikola, and I'm in a few other SPACs, as you guys know, but not in Workhorse, and no real reason why not in it, just lucky, I guess. We've broken through that 50-period moving average, and if I'm going to use that example on Nikola as kind of like bad news, more to come, then I think we got to look short again. So I'm looking at 1475 on the bottom here for Workhorse, and I'm only looking short. I know we talked about retracement long. I was in CCIV yesterday, gave that up way too early. Wound up pretty big yesterday, so I was really happy with the way yesterday turned out. But I don't think Workhorse bounces, and I'm sorry for anybody holding the bag here, but you can look at this 1525 level. If that does break, then maybe we have something. But for now and for today, I'm very bearish on WKHS.
All right, guys, we'll bring in Mark Roberts here and get his take on the EV space and also on the overall market. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. Good to have you as always. I want to start with the overall market here, if we can, Mark. An impressive, to say the least, reversal yesterday throughout the afternoon. The buying that came in and the volume behind it was a little bit different, felt different anyways, as we headed into the close. What's your take on how that transpired yesterday?
I would say it was a shocker. For the simple reason that Fed Chairman Powell was and did not say anything unusual. The 10-year bond continues to go higher. I think you'll start to see much more volatility as we come into month end. This is a seasonal month of erratic trading generally, and generally to the downside. So I was looking for that 37.25, 37.55 area on the E-minis. We got to 38.04 or so, 38.07. I still am a little cautious in here, so I'm going to stay neutral at best, but it was a shocker.
Yeah, good to see some buying coming back in, especially on the NASDAQ, as we said. Still lower, but erasing a 4% early decline yesterday. If we do see follow through here, has this kind of signaled a change in direction?
Yeah, if you get back through that 39, I don't call it 39.20, 39.15 area, you could see fresh buying coming in. I know many managers that are putting bids below the market who still believe that we could have some sell-off. But the race is whether we get back into these FANG and high beta NASDAQ stocks, or we move genuinely into the value names like we were doing the last few days.
Let's talk about reopen stocks as well, because they've had quite a week. You know, when everything else has been very weak, moving lower, these have stood out significantly. I mean, there's really no improvement or drastic improvement as far as getting the economies reopened anytime soon, it would appear, but they're already buying these.
Yeah, It's going to be very interesting to see what of Mr. Biden's package, whether it's 1.9 or 1.6, gets passed. It'll be interesting to see if the cities get bailouts. If they do, that's going to be very bullish under the market, bearish long-term for bonds, but that nobody seems to focus on. So for the moment, airlines are still there. I'm not into the cruise lines yet, but airlines, Disney, movie theaters, anywhere where there's a reopening feeling. Mr. Fauci, I'm not sure where he stands. We can't hug our grandchildren, but we can go to movie theaters. There's something strange about that.
Mark Roberts, thank you again for joining us, Sun Lake Strategies, once again. Look, thank you for joining. I want to talk about, it's kind of funny because you just went right into exactly the two things I want to talk about. It was the reopen trade. I want to talk about AMC a little bit, and then I do want to talk, and a shout out to our viewers as well, asking for AMC. So they want it, we'll deliver, right, Mark? So the first name, though, is Uber. I want to talk a little bit about Uber. Uber was a super, super hot stock, I'm going to say a month ago, and I think you know that. It was written about by a lot of analysts, a lot of people talking about it being strong on the reopen trade. We talk about Uber Eats. I know that's a loser for them as well. But you know, the more people out to travel, the more people back to some of these business meetings, back to work, things like that. It makes me feel like this dip down here to the 50-period moving average of about 50, I mean, let's call it between 54 and 55, somewhere around here. Forget about yesterday's bottom. We just talked about what happened there at 9:45 a.m. on that reversal. You're able to pick up Uber at 51, 52. If that happens again, I think that's fantastic. But are we looking to buy Uber here? There's a little bit of negative news today about some contracts or some competitors in Western Europe. I don't know if that's going to be anything or not. I don't know how big DD is over there. DD Delivery, another name coming at Uber. But do we like, or do you like Uber at any of these levels? I do like stocks at 50-period moving averages. Any opinions here?
50-day moving average is a critical level for me, especially if it dips below and considers it, well, we'll call it consolidates at that point.
Yeah.
I've been long Lyft since January. I'm staying with Lyft. I just find it a more intriguing company, but Uber is as good as it gets. I think both of these companies will fend off major competitors coming from Europe, so I'm not concerned. I would want to remain in the space.
So why, very, very interesting, because obviously the Lyft chart looks a lot better, a lot safer than Uber. I mean, you don't get really too much action here over the last couple of weeks as opposed to Uber. Any explanation on why one over the other, Mark?
No, I think it's purely fundamentals and management. I think it has nothing to do with traders, volume, or any of the above. It just looked like a better name at the time. PENN looked better than DraftKings,
yep.
But I couldn't get into PENN because it already had extended, so I got into DraftKings. I'm glad I did. But it's really important to check competitors.
Yep.
If you're going to trade, and if something's running, always move to the next one. That's where you'll make your money.
Yeah, Penn off to the races here. So Penn right now 120 and change, bouncing off well above its 50-period moving average. And then, yeah, look, I've been pumping DraftKings. We're actually up 71%, the listeners, since we bought the $35 dips. This is still Penn. Come on, DraftKings, switch over. Back down to 30. There, our charts are funny. Down here was a great buy. Obviously, we can go back and push it. Wow, look at the NASDAQ, Mark, just turned red and starting to head down again. So I was saying earlier that I think that yesterday bottom, not that it gets retested today, hope not, fingers crossed, but I don't think we're out of the woods quite yet on a lot of these names. One last name before I let you go, Mark. AMC. Obviously, you know, we're not going to look at a daily chart here because we did get taken out, some of these meme plays. Everybody knows what happened there in late January, I guess, early February. But right now, we've made this bottom. Like, forget about all these crazy highs here. We've made a bottom, and I thought this may have been legit. Like 520, that's sort of where we started this crazy move. 520 and change. Now today we're back up to 780. We're not going to use the 50 period here because being influenced by a lot of this. But you know, we got some nice action. Even if I go back to yesterday, topping out at almost $8. What do you think of AMC? Can our viewers stay on the sidelines now? Should we wait for that retest to $5? Any opinions here on AMC? Already 3 million shares today.
Yeah, the first thing I would do in a case like this is look at a 3-day chart. Your moving averages give you a lot of credibility here. 690 tends to be a cluster area, and then down around that 650 area. So I would be a little bit more aggressive on this dip if we get one. I don't think you'll see 5.5 in the near term.
No, I don't think, I mean, not with what's happening, but I mean, wow, here we go. I don't know, was there just news here or something? I'm not sure, but you can see right now, Mark, I mean, the NASDAQ, like, look at this. We came in this morning, man, 13,290. Bang, all the way to the down. We're down like about 2% from this high here. Very strange. I don't know if you have a Bloomberg terminal open or anything. I know Brendan does, but I don't really see any news coming off here. I just think yesterday's rebound was, this is not it, but yesterday's rebound may be coming through a little bit here. I'm actually going to throw back to Brendan. Thank you, Mark. Maybe he has some news on this.
I don't actually see anything, guys, as far as the overall futures are concerned, but a bit of a technical level, technical break there, volume coming in as well. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, we appreciate your time as always. Let's get into what is moving around in the pre-market this morning, guys. We'll have a look at the morning note that we send out before we come on every day at 8:30. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second and register your email. You can sign in with a Facebook, you can sign in with a Google account, or any email. And then once you do that, you are good to go. We will be discontinuing or stopping the emails in general coming up. So make sure you take a second to do that. If you need that link, Valeria will help you out as well in the chat. Let's talk about Workhorse here and figure out what to do with this thing today. I mean, it's going to be under pressure, I feel, once again. Yeah, it was 61%, I believe, at the bottom as far as percentage move from the top yesterday to the downside after that Oshkosh announcement. So Oshkosh getting a 10-year contract for the USPS, guys.
Before we get into that, I got to do this, and we keep it real around here, so that's right. Face slap on SYPR. They got a defense contract deal with DOD. It was like some anti-ship missile, blah, blah, blah. But you're going to see a fantastic move to the upside. Big volume on the secondary push through $5. Came through to like 625. This first rejection, I grabbed a short 618. It started to work for me, then held up at 6. Took the hit on that one when it took high of day. Then looked like it was a bit of a failed break, so I jumped in on that same sort of pattern trade, liked it even more, shorted this right at like 97s, and then it pushed up again. So that's my style. I'd rather take the paper cuts and miss a move than standing too far in front of the train. But this one looking rather strong already. And this is what it's all about. We try to keep it real around here so you guys can see. But this one now making another push to the high of day. I feel like SYPR is going to be on the radar all session long. But now let's go to Workhorse.
Yeah, sure. We just did talk about Workhorse there a little bit before. We can call it back up. Sure, why not? WKHS, look, we've gone over this a bunch of times today already, and if you just want to rewind back to when Neil opened the show with it at 8:30. But look, I already have an order set up. I've already said about it. I've already talked about what Nicola did when it was missing, and I just feel bad for people holding the bag here. I feel lucky that I'm not involved in Workhorse. I was not expecting that, but remember, like, when former President Trump was on the White House lawn, actually Brendan talked about this, I thought it was Lordstown that he was pumping at that time. But I do remember that there was talk about USPS, possibly doing that deal with Workhorse. And again, I do see on the chat, I mean, you guys are right. It's the bulls that pump stocks when there's good news, and it's the bears that hammer them when it's bad news. But I mean, that's the way the markets work. And right now, Workhorse getting woodshedded again. We're down another 10% off of that huge move yesterday. Yeah, here it is, man. $28 left for dead. Halts everywhere. 1, 2, 3 halts, maybe 4 or 5 halts. I'm not sure what was happening. I wasn't actually watching all of these halts. Obviously, I saw the news. I did not trade this. Was waiting to see, where it would settle down. I don't even know if we have a settle down spot. It did touch down at 12 yesterday. I mean, wow. If we get to that, then which we could get to there today. But some action here at 17. Let's just zoom in a little bit here. Move. That we could get 1475. So I already have my order ready to go at 1475 to break that. So if that does go short, if it does come into play, I will be short. Notice we have a 10-cent spread right now. Now it's 3, but for any real shares there was 10. This is opening up the book. This is national best bidder offer. You can look that up. But yeah, look, I think Workhorse is a short. I'm not going long on this name today. If anything, I will look to sort of fade anything out. You know what? I mean, 1525. Normally I'm on bull on all these names, but today, not so much on Workhorse. Look at this drop, guys, here in the market, just continuing to move downside. So a lot of my targets today were going to be upside because of that rebound from yesterday, but it looks like we'll have to still hit the short. Hopefully I dig into a NEO short, not a NEO long. More to come on NEO when we go through our list.
Just seeing Big Commerce here moving again. There was some volume a little bit earlier, guys. Big Commerce doing a deal. Big C, the ticker with Walmart. So positive news for Big C. Let's talk about Square. There was, earnings aftermarket yesterday. They purchased 3,318 additional Bitcoins in the latest quarter, a total of 170 million in notional value. That actually helped the price for Bitcoin when that came out. The Jack Dorsey-led company blowing away on revenue as well. The EPS, though, was a bit of a problem, guys, for Square.
I'll talk about Square in a minute. I'm just laughing at this one because Darren Dixon, that's a good one. The horse came back as a donkey. Workhorse, that's hilarious. Good job on that one today. Yeah, so Square, Riot, good job there. Obviously, we talked about, Brendan just went over some of the numbers there. And look, come on, Square, you're on the New York, let's go. That's the thing about our platform. If you're with Day Trade the World, you do have to switch it. We have I think it was 60 markets, my last check. So lots of different opportunities there. Okay, Square dropped down that 4%. Look, with Bitcoin continuing to fall, man, it's at 49.4 right now. Do I think we can revisit this? This was the move down here yesterday afternoon. Obviously, we had earnings. It was rocketing to the high side there. 262 and change came through, and then bang, right in the afternoon. Like when the NASDAQ fell yesterday afternoon and Bitcoin started to fall again, then, look what happened to Square. Look what happened to Square yesterday off open. You want to talk about a stock getting murked. Neil said there was a few ones you could find the best, bottom, and then to top. This on Square, we already hit it on NEO. I think we had a great trade on NEO yesterday. We made 15% off the bottom NEO. This bottom yesterday, 232.50, goes up to 259. So let's call it $28 on 230. So yeah, same kind of retracement back up about that 10%. We opened yesterday 250. We fell to 230. If the market continues to have this kind of negativity behind it, I honestly think Square does the same. I wrote down here on ye old sheet, it's right in the middle there, Square 240. I think that's a level that we could possibly look at. We did bounce off there this morning, or I guess yesterday afternoon, 240, 241. Reopened up today 251 before the NASDAQ started puking. So there's that bottom, 232. This is probably a name to short. I'm looking to short Square today, probably right now. Look at this NASDAQ, guys. Like, we are just tank city right now. Hold your shorts and watch out for your longs because, we're starting to go downside here. Let's look at a 240, 241 break, maybe even on Square. I'd hate to say it, but we still have 30 minutes to go. I can't give any levels on any of these NASDAQ names right now because it's just too volatile, even as we speak in the pre-market.
And guys, if you hear us in yesterday, it was a perfect example of this. Sometimes we'll go over these levels, and if it's a downward sentiment and only down 1%, sometimes the market will say things like, and then here's a deeper support level. And it's like, pie in the sky that it ever gets there. And then every now and then you see something like Tesla 620 or some of these levels that made no sense, maybe at the open, but would have given you buy in the dip opportunity. So let's not throw away yesterday's bottoms and think that it's impossible. So Square that 232, and then I'd even look at that like this 237.50 area if it were to ever get down to that price. But once again, we're looking like we're selling off, and it's everything going at once. The 10-year Treasury hitting 1.4, and that's its highest since pre-COVID last year.
All right, I want to quickly go back to this Workhorse story with Oshkosh yesterday. Sean was mentioning Lordstown, another one that we can have a look at. Workhorse, guys, has a 10% stake in Lordstown. So if we have a look at Ride here, you can see what happened the same time yesterday. Ride also getting hit pretty hard here, back down to 19, which was not even a day low for Ride. So yes, Sean, if you want to have a look at Ride, there is a tie here as well for this news story.
Thanks, Brendan, for bringing that up. I mean, that's why I brought up Lordstown. I knew there was something there, but thanks for clarifying the percent ownership and everything like that. So, look, same story, right? This is already former SPAC, now Ride. You could see just making the move to the downside here. This held up a little bit better. So I would think that if you're in one name or the other, obviously Ride with Lordstown, perhaps having a little bit of a better business model, not relying on that one contract, and then only having the 10% stake there in Workhorse. So it does make sense that this does fall. But wow, even yesterday, there's so many stocks got destroyed off open, but these bottoms here, 18, 19, much safer play. So if Workhorse continues to go down, I think you can definitely look at Ride and put some bids down here, 19 and change, to see if that holds. Yesterday's bottom, 1860. I think on some Workhorse chaos that's going to happen today, obviously, I think you can look at Ride bottom 19. Great look there, Brendan. Thanks for bringing that up. Put your bids down now.
All right, let's have a look at the overall market. We'll bring Arun in here and check out the futures. Yeah, we continue to slide back to the downside here in a hurry as well. Arun, what are you looking at? Volume coming in sell side right now.
Volume is coming in sell side. You know what's funny is that there was a great short opportunity this morning, and that is the big thing with the futures is that, keep in mind, it's almost a 24-hour market, right? So you're able to trade well before the market opens. Now, I was able to get in at 92 around an hour ago. So that was the only trade. I used 39.05 as a stop and 92 was a trade. Now, what do you do when it comes down this far? There's not a whole lot to do in the middle of a range that, it's quite the range here. So 39.05 on the top end, 38.35 on the bottom end is what I've got. So we're sitting in the middle. So if we can get back into the 80s, I think I'm going to start looking for some more shorts. Now, I've got some out already, but I'm going to start trying to add some more shorts. 39.05 is still the top. So now it's kind of, established itself, that 90 to 3,900 mark. That's been a big problem for the last couple of days now. So again, it is a problem today as well. So if we can get back into the 80s, I'm going to try to find some shorts there. 39.05 will be the stop. But at these prices, given how it's moved, you really can't do a whole lot. If you're able to get in at the time, great. But if you've missed the boat, you've missed the boat. So now you just have to be patient and find the right trade. Of course, if you get into the 50s, you might have some support there. So maybe a flip to the long side. If it sets up, just be careful though. Like you've seen yesterday, if the volume gets going to the downside, it gets going really quickly. So it does have to set up. It does have to stabilize before you flip to the long. But that is possibly an option as well with 38.35 as a stop.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow. Yeah, volatility definitely back in play once again. Let's continue on. Guys, we're going through the watch list. If you are just joining us, make sure you take a second. Grab the link. Valeria will help you out in the chat. And register once again for the watch list. Has its own website now, so you don't have to worry about emails on a daily basis. Let's talk about Fisker. They announced a deal or a memorandum of understanding with China's Foxconn. Yeah, to work on that, apparently, that's a sketch, at least, of a drawing of this car that they're going to team up to build. It kind of has a Flintstones feel to it a little bit, guys.
Are those like two giant tires, or is that just like a 3D rendering of what that is? But yeah, look, okay, there it is there. Okay, very interesting. I could probably draw that, but I'm not an engineer, so that is fantastic. Good look there. Look, as an investor in Fisker, let's hit the home run here. We'll do a couple backflips with Fisker. Come on, charts. 1936, man. I'm finally back, and my long is 16, so we're just cruising right here, and nice to see that today. A nice little 19-20% bump. This may be the shining light today if you are looking to go long on anything. I think you could buy this on any dips. Look, finally, almost the complete opposite of Workhorse, right? Now they're delivering on some of these. Like you said, it's just an MOU, so we'll see what that means. We did get some of that with Nikola in the past as well, before with GM. So we'll see what that means. That's a nice idea there. It's positive. It's up 18.5%. Is that too much? I don't know. How am I supposed to know if this is going to be too high, too low? Who knows? So let's just go over to a chart and just have a quick look just to see if anybody, is going to get stopped out on anything like this today. We've already been high before, up to $20. So this is not new territory. That's what concerns me the most, is that we did drop down yesterday. You got that beautiful buy down to 1550. We hit that 50-period moving average. I said this is where I'm long. I just checked. I think it's like 1620, something like that long. We played a breakout when it happened. We got some nice profits, but we've already been up here before. So look, if we break through 20 is when I start getting excited, and you can see that's already happened today. So let's wait to see if we could take, actually, you know what? We can zoom in a little bit more here. Why not? What about this 2010 level? So let's look at that as the NASDAQ looks to rebound a bit here. So 2010-ish on Fisker is going to be a level to look at. However, we could crash. Watch out for the NASDAQ. I mean, a break of 19 could create some pullback. Let's give it. Neil does some math sometimes on these plays, but 1650 up to 21. That's $5. Half of that in change. We're looking at about an 1850. Maybe we pull back to there. So let's just wait to see what does happen. Not bad math there, Neil.
I do love it. Given the Laurier love there, I'll do it every now and then, even though Waterloo all the way.
Better for a lot of different reasons as well, my friend.
Okay,
let's not get that twisted.
Okay, let's be honest for a second. Yes, 100%. I spent so much time with Laurier. People thought I went to that school because it was way more fun. But I mean, Sean, and we talk about this for pullbacks and having some prices that you're going to like in the event that we're dipping, and we're already starting to come back in. I look at this. This faked some breakouts at 17 and caught a lot of people. On 17 breaks, they're sort of holding the bag. Now it held that 14 area, but this 17 at some point, 17 to 17.25, I do think is going to turn into a support level. So if this stock comes in, that's what I'm going to be watching. It's going to be 17 to 17.25. Oddly enough, that's right where we were in the pre-market at about 7 a.m. before things ramped to the upside. So I'm going to be watching that one. Looks like Workhorse just broke the low. So I actually got into this one in the pre-market here, guys. For me, it was a 70 break. I mean, 75, 70, it's basically the same thing. So into the short on Workhorse, but Fisker, I like it to about that 17.25 for a crazy dip buy, just in case there is the floodgates opening up, Brennan.
A story here, guys, on Lyft. Maybe we can have a look at Lyft. Not sure if there's any reaction to this, but they're introducing a product called Lyft Call a Lyft Ride. So apparently you don't need the app to get a Lyft if you have that service near you. So now you can use just a regular phone. So no app required for Call a Lyft Ride. Not sure if that's going to have any kind of effect, though, on the actual stock today. Let's go over to Tesla, why don't we, while we're at it. Kathy Wood's ARK Innovation Fund saying that they added $124 million worth to their position on this dip in Tesla shares. So trying to bounce here in a big way, as we said, guys, for Tesla.
Yeah, what? Kathy Wood buying Tesla? I mean, this goes down to the whole, and it always makes sense because when the market was falling, we were sort of saying, look here, look there, and you sort of gravitate towards the names that you like the best or most convicted in, and that's exactly what she did. And we like those levels down around 620, sort of for other reasons, but now that we're essentially pushing back towards 720, you can throw a lot of that out the window. I do care about the fact that the market looks like it's trying to come back down again, and you do have this afternoon support at 670. So let's file that one away the same way I would in Fisker and say, okay, well, Tesla 670, that could be a nice little dipping point if we do turn red on the session. It's just worth noting, I'll go to the 15-minute chart just so you can see. I mean, before all that crazy action, and yeah, that's got to be for Fisker, I'm assuming there, Sean. There was a consolidation level just earlier this week, right around this 737 area, like 750 or so. So if we get into that range in Tesla, that's going to be a fade for me. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen, but you know what happens if you don't put some of these levels out there for pie in the sky, and Tesla to me is not an everyday trade. It's wait for that perfect opportunity and then go for it there. So might trade it once or twice a month. So if we do get into that 750 range, that's a fade. And I'm actually almost preferring if we were to dip again and then we have a look at 670.
Yeah, I just hit that because we got an early trade here. I'll tweet it out. We got an early trade on Workhorse, so we're in it. And I mean, this is what we wanted. So 1475, I can't sit here and tell you guys that I'm looking to go hella short and not go. So here we go, 1475. Let's wait to see. We have this 1525. We get blown out there. Maybe we will, like I said, this is a good spot to get out. 1525, let's even bump it up to 1540, something like that. We took a piece off there. We're short 74, so we're short 74. We just took out a 59 bid there, so that was a nice 16 cent win, 15 cents there, and now we'll wait to see what happens at 40. Look, I just have some downside love here for Workhorse today. As you know, we've gone over it again and again and again, so I don't have a problem targeting down here, like 1350, something like that. Let's just wait to see what does happen.
Can I say, like, the one thing about that 1350, double down on it, because Usually after a halt, when things calm down, that's probably one of the best levels you can use for support and resistance. And the last halt, and then it finally started trading till the close, did have a low of 1350. So I'm in the same position, and that's the ultimate target for me, would be that price.
Okay, let's talk about Uber here, guys. GameStop on the list this morning. Their CFO is leaving, getting a big package to depart. Not terribly active. Just a heads up, Neil and Sean, we have a very, very large dark print on the GME chart, so it's not really showing anything at the moment worth looking at. So Uber, talking about some competition coming into Uber's space here. It is down on the morning. It was DiDi delivery service that is moving into Western Europe. So kind of getting into their territory when it comes to delivery and ride sharing over in Western. New lawsuit when it comes to how drivers are considered, whether they're going to be employees or it's the same story we've talked about many, many times over the European, or there's a European Commission that's going to look into how they should be treated over in that region, guys.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is why I talked about this with Mark Roberts. I mean, I like Uber. I like it for a long. I think it's a great reopen trade, just like I like Boeing as well for a long if you're going to trade some kind of value. I think Uber is kind of getting into that spot. I don't think it's going to be super, super volatile moving into the reopen unless we get more news about different things like this. Competition stepping in. Mark talked about preferring Lyft. I don't know which one I prefer. I mean, that Lyft chart looks better than Uber's chart, so I think he's probably going to be right there. $55 could be a breaking spot to go long here. However, we saw what happened. And again, I keep talking about yesterday's decline in the NASDAQ, but I just want to remind people, like, that can happen again. So $52 downside there in Uber is something to look at. I don't think we get there today, obviously, on this kind of a news. But Uber right now, it's just hovering around. He got the VWAP right there at 54.70, a high of 54.80. You know what? Oh, come on, Uber.NQ. Let's go. It's a .NY. We are at that 50-period moving average that we talked about, and we're in this cluster zone. I like Uber for a long. Mark agrees, so I can't be that far off. So you know what? I mean, I like it for a long. I think we'll look for dips today to get involved. But remember, if you're joining us for the very first time, we don't, the positions that we'll put on here for the show are exactly that. They're for the show. We put them on to get in and out of these positions, right? So although I am long-term positive on Uber, I am pretty short-term negative just because of the movements in the market. We get a huge battle back yesterday, all the way to 56. If the market blows up today, I absolutely love this 55 long. If the market can turn around a 55 long, I'll be all over that. However, when we continue to drop down, I am going to be looking to pick some up at this 53.50 area of some support. I mean, we hit that support all yesterday afternoon, 53.50. Let's see if it hits that again. Let's take it. We'll see if we'll get lucky. The NASDAQ keeps dropping. That's going to be my buy. I'm putting the bid in right now.
And just to go to Lyft for a second here, there is this level here, the higher low at about 55.75 to 55.80 that I think will be worth a look in the event that the market does dip. The reason why, and I can speak for myself, and I'm almost like 99% sure for Sean too as well, why you might not see us trade Lyft as much intraday is very simple. You just heard Brendan come with news. And I can show you 45,000 shares traded in the pre-market on Lyft, whereas Uber is going to be moving a little bit more. That's why the chart looks so sparse. That's why I wouldn't be looking for some breakout through the high of the day at 58.30. If you can even get shares through that top without getting all kinds of slippage, who knows? But I'd be looking for any kind of retracement or after the opening range gets made. This could be one Lyft in particular to maybe play. If you like buying some of these dips, which could essentially happen on the open, and I think you want to be prepared in the event that they do. So I'll be watching Lyft for those bids, but no way I'm taking the top end break there because even with a catalyst, it's crazy. Lyft doing absolutely zero volume.
All right, guys, let's go back to crypto land. We'll talk about some of these crypto-based stocks, mining stocks, Mara, Riot, all Silvergate, another one, the bank. Yeah, we tried to reclaim 50,000 there on Bitcoin after Square came out and said they bought more, but we're back below. So heading back to the downside here for the price for Bitcoin. I just want to kind of look at this from a Bitcoin perspective. 50,000, big round number. Everyone thought it might have some trouble once we got here. We're here. Does this end up being a little bit of a magnet for the next couple of days, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, actually teetering 51.2, 51.3, looking like it's going to be a bit of a level for resistance. So watch out for a break there on spot. But Usually when you get moves like this, it's sort of, we took that high, got to like 58. We're failing to hold 50,000 for a second time. I would tend to think we're getting another one of those pullbacks where there's going to be a good dip buying opportunity. So it's not crazy. I think what you're saying is a magnet, Brendan, but it does feel to me like we're in the midst of a little bit of a sell here. So with all of that said, and I'm just going to come tomorrow because it's always done the most pre-market volume, typically for a lot of these names, and is a pretty stable trade. And I like to play off of some of these levels. And I look at what's happening in the spot, and Mara pulling back a little bit more sharp here. So if we test back towards 50,000 and fail, and there's a chance to short Mara off the highs, I mean that's like an all day, every day type of play. The only problem when you're doing it's not really arbitrage, but when you're trading one off of the other, is there's no guarantee you're going to get an entry which gives you the risk to reward that you like. So what ends up happening is, you could find yourself in like a 33.50 short when it comes to a level like this. Maybe we don't hold that 50,000 or we don't hold 51.5 if that's what you're looking at. And then suddenly you have to make a decision at 34 and not even the high of the day. And you have to be willing to live with that, or simply have an amount of shares or a size that you're comfortable holding against you until the absolute top, knowing full well that your key level is more on the spot price. So if you don't have a mechanism, if you're trading any of these equities and you don't have a mechanism to watch the spot price, I think you're probably going to be in a little bit of trouble if that's the case, especially if there's an extreme move. But you can always just trade something directly. I know here in Canada, of course, we've talked about the new ETF, and that's on our watch list as well.
So it took some more workhorse out there. That was a good trade, breaking through 50. So there it is. Actually, no, it didn't even break through 50, did it? Workhorse, there it is. We just took that little bit out. What is that, 40? No, we got, what did we get, 48s there? Or what did we get? We got 51s, so a nice little out. One to get another 24 cents there on Workhorse. So you might have just saw what I had up there was SOS. You want to dance with the devil? Why don't we just do that? 750 down here. So that was sort of where on the Bitcoin drop yesterday in the afternoon. SOS, again, Chinese ADR here, trading Bitcoins. You could definitely look at them, mining, rig, everything. 730 down to the downside. I look for SOS to retest some of those levels. So if I was looking at anything, I'd be on that. And then I'm already an investor here, but it doesn't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm light because it's an equity. I'm way more dug into the coin itself. But don't sleep on this name, BTCC.B. You saw yesterday a down move. I mean, it basically trades exactly like crypto. It's supposed to be one-to-one to Bitcoin, and it's the first true ETF by purpose. It's over here in the Toronto market. You could see 1020 yesterday. Obviously, we come in with the bad Bitcoin, and look at it. It actually follows exactly. It has that bounce back when Bitcoin started turning around as well. Then you have some downward momentum in the afternoon following Bitcoin. So if you're going to look at anything, it's now printing 950s, 940s. Not too much volume here in the pre-market, but this thing could do millions of shares. They've gotten tons of inflows. And I would just say, if you're going to trade something crypto related, why not trade spot BTC? And you can get it with this BTCC ETF. So I like SOS down there at 750. And then I just think that if you did want some crypto exposure and you think it's going to bounce and you're able to trade on the Toronto market, it's .B if you have Canadian funds, and it's .U for US, Brendan.
All right, let's go to Churchill Capital. Active, very active once again, guys, in the pre-market here. But looking weak. I mean, we saw that huge recovery that happened late morning yesterday in this, and I'm talking about this bounce all the way back to 44. But look what happened in the afternoon. I mean, we ended basically at 35. It's trying to test lower right now. I don't think the story's over yet for Churchill and Lucid Motors.
I tend to agree with you that the story in the stock is certainly not over. Now, it's interesting that you mentioned 35 because that was the key price for me yesterday, both on the open short here, and then when we eventually went long, we started that position at 35. It'd be nice to catch the bottom, but if you have a bearish sentiment on something, I wait for it to actually, break out through that 35, which was key before I was convinced it was going to be that long. But like yesterday, I would tend to go in both directions, which is why I did have a breakout when it broke 37. It barely went anywhere. Actually, 37.40 is the high. Got up just shy of that before running away. It ended up trying to get back up there again, goes to 40s. And now we're heading back southbound. So once again, 35 is my number. I'll be going short through 35 on Churchill Capital. If it breaks to the downside, and then we've got to be aware that this only really went to like $1 or so, just a little bit more than that, through that price in the afternoon. So there could be a little bit of support. Got to make sure we're scalping some of that and staying active in CCIV. So I don't think we're anywhere close to done, but I'm not going to favor one direction over the other. I'm just going to play the key levels, and I don't care which way it's headed. I just want to follow the trend.
Guys, thank you for all the love on Twitter, obviously, but I just want to bring it up to someone's Russell Jackson here. Where are you? Hey, Russell. We're a big fan of Russell's, so just pay attention if he talks about anything on here as well. We talked about it yesterday. This time, instead of dumping their stocks, they're stocking for dumps, right? I think that's a funny way of putting it. I talked about it just a few days ago. We talked about having cash gang. Remember when we talked about that? If I can find it on my Twitter feed, I will, but not right now. We have more to talk about, and it's going to be Palantir. I said that we could be in a rough ride for a little bit and that we need to have diamond hands for cash. Yesterday was a great opportunity to put some of that to work down here, $23, $24. And if you look at a Palantir chart, I mean, I've already sort of explained to you where I got long. I got long 25 and change. You could see that hold on this day. It didn't hold yesterday. We lost a bit of money on the way down. We made a hell of a lot more on the way back up with Palantir as it ripped back to the high side. But that's one time, two times, and then everything in here where we held the line here. 24, what's up, Ja Rule? Hold the line, $25, $24 on the downside. I can't be in charge of this market. I can't be in control when we're down 1%. So yeah, if we're losing money on Palantir, I don't think it's a buy, until we break. And I've talked about this. It's not a breakout until you break above this $30, $31. We need to get back in this area before we think about 40, right? And so I don't think this moons anytime soon. I've talked about Palantir being a longer term look, and I just think it's great for day trading, and we're going to do that again today. We already have bids. My bids right now, $25.50. We're waiting to see if we get back into that level. Look to yesterday. Here's 25. Comes down in the afternoon. It holds this 25.50 level. It goes to 25.65. I think that's a reasonable level. We held there before we dumped. We held 25, 25.20. We tried the long. Then we defended 24, and 24 held beautifully. So we'll just see today if we're lucky enough to get an opportunity to get that 25.50. Then we'll see what happens. We'll average in all the way back down. All I can do is tell you a plan of action. And if you're trading without one, that's not the right move either. So see what happens here. Even at 26, I don't even want to defend the 26 level. I want to wait to see what happens at 25, 25.50, so on and so forth. That's my take on Palantir. Look, apparently someone named Kathy Wood is involved in it as well. So, I mean, you guys can take whatever you want out of all of this. It's my idea. I like that 24, 25 level. I've been long since 10. We all know that. It's not even on the imbalance locator today. CCL with a nice buy. Shout out to I'm not sure. Someone mentioned it to me. I know, Daryl, you're always on it. It might have been Cincinnati Video Guru mentioned CCL. We'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, there's Palantir. Palantir with a small buy. But right now, everything bid side, guys, except for whatever this is, and LYG on the sell side as well. AMC, small sell. But that's Palantir, guys. I just want to review that. I'm not long. Yeah, right, until 25.50.
All right, quickly, a few minutes to go here, guys. Let's talk U.S. automakers. There's a White House meeting scheduled for later on this morning, and looks like a executive order to come later this afternoon. They're saying 4:45, President Biden will sign an order to address directly the shortage of semiconductors and chip makers that, if you remember going back to last month, caused a production delay for both Ford and GM. Now, both of these were up and looking very strong until this move down in the market, guys, has brought them back to earth a little bit, but should look at these too.
A little bit. Well, I would say this, both these names pulling back not that far, and I think a lot of it has to do with them being traditionally safer names with a lot less volatility than normal, which makes them keen for news like this and a day like this. Now, yesterday I actually had a level written down, and Ford was not the first thing I was looking at. It's probably a good thing because my dip by price on Ford was 11.30. So actually, there's actually a good chance we could have made some money off of that trade, but I'm going to throw that one out and then maybe go just a little bit higher, 11.35 if anything gets crazy in Ford. I doubt that's going to happen. So the other level I wanted to have a quick look at was this 11.75 area. Now, the market's sort of leveling off here. So in the event that we can get back and maybe up through 11.75, I don't have many breakout sort of trade ideas here, but that quarter looks interesting to me on a dip. This could be a safer name to come through. relatively speaking, especially with a positive catalyst anticipated at the close today, and there will probably be some buying into it just for that sort of safety and security. So let's have a look at Ford. I like 1135 on the dip. I like 1175 through the upside. I mean, GM you can look at too. I just think Ford for me is going to be the play here today. But there's only 5 or 6 minutes left, and I want to make sure. Someone asked why am I shorting GSAT? This one was up and couldn't find the reason why. So anytime I get an opportunity to play off of a gap like this one, you had a stock which got absolutely gapped down yesterday and then got crushed at the open. Tried to hold through the highs of 2 days ago, could not do so. Then gaps up again anyways. So for me, once it started selling off, I waited at 8 o'clock, and 8 o'clock volume comes in the same way a volume comes in at 7 o'clock, and you guys know some of the reasons why platforms come online and people can start trading. It tried to buy off this consolidation. I waited for that to fail, jumped in here at 10s. I then got a break when 2 even broke to the downside, and it's just been all gravy since. But I am covering, and I've covered most of this position now, like 2/3 of it, in front of yesterday's high. So this 185 price. If it gets through there, I'm looking to about 160 to 165 as my target. But this just sort of, for me, was a bit of low-hanging fruit as a day 2 or day 3 mover, which, if I'm going to trade something in the pre-market, I love the day 2, day 3 type catalyst plays, as opposed to something which might be its first day of being relatively more active, Brennan.
I just want to review NEO here. I know a lot of people looking at NEO today because of that move, man. We got hammered on this one all the way down. We kept defending 44, 45 all the way down, but then thank God we saw this turnaround and we picked it up and then hammered it all the way back to the upside. This was probably percentage-wise, the biggest winner that I've had for a while. We had like 16% or something on the backside, 41 up to 48. Like, that's a 20% move right there. So I think that NEO, if you're going to look at a name that wants to move today, I think you got NEO. I love this 49 break. If we continue to go to the downside, we only have 6 minutes. I'd hate to get in this one early, but the NASDAQ's dropping. I will take a 49 short. If we do get into the 49 short, I got to use this 49.85 as an out because I don't need this to happen to me where it rips my face off. So we're going to wait for that. And then if I love this 50-20, I mean, this is the VWAP. I know we don't look at VWAP too much, but look, it was also a dropping spot there, 50-20. So I like 50-20 on a break back up. We did have some key levels there if we zoom back. But so anything above 50, I like. But, oh, man, we may get into this early. Let's just check back quickly on the imbalance locator, see if anything got spicy. It didn't. Where is NEO on here? Oh, there it is. So it is a buy. Uh-oh, we're approaching this 49. I may have to cancel this downside play here because, again, I don't want to be in. It took a while. Yeah, I'm going to cancel the downside play. It took a while. Where is it? It took a while yesterday. There it is. It took a while yesterday for NEO to open. So I remember being stuck in that long. We took some early profits, but NEO took a couple minutes to open yesterday. So we'll wait to see if it does open. I'm going to have my eye on this one. If it does open near 49, let's look to go short on NIO, guys, 49, and then use that 49.80 as our out. And then if it doesn't go short, I like a 50 quarter break. Let's go, Brendo.
All right, guys, one more to go here. RRD, a little tiny, well, not tiny, it's small cap, though. Commercial printing company announcing earnings aftermarket yesterday that were better than expected. This thing has been in a bit of an uptrend over the past couple of months, but if you go way out to a weekly chart even, you can see it's a pretty weak stock overall. 350 up here was a pivot area. I'm just watching 350, so got to give it back to 350 if you're looking downside on this one. If we do get a move into 350, starts holding above that, might get a long opportunity on RRD. Guys.
And about 2 minutes to go here, that SYPR just made a top break here. I mean, 690 was the top, but it just broke 7 even and slammed right back down, at least for the time being. Only to about 680 to 690 is the range. This is one of those plays where I'm probably not done taking a shot at shorting this because anytime you have a move this big, there usually is a decent size retracement. There's already been a couple. This is a little too close to 930. But if there is a test right at the open, which gets you a push through 7, and then fails again, I would jump into the short at 680. Otherwise, watch out if you are shorting the stock. Workhorse now,
guys,
almost $1. Yeah, it is $1 in the money.
Let's go. This is what we're talking about. The #1 stock on the list, the Workhorse short, 1475. The only position we have cashing out on this one on the downside. It's already a monster day, one-time daily goal right there on one trade for Workhorse. This isn't an average in. There's nothing about this. We just double hit it. We double spanked this thing short. Look at that out, 1390. That's that level that I gave you right down here. 1380, 1390, we talked about that. So we just banged that one off. What a big win for that. We start our day off with hot fire, guys. A minute and a half to go. Boom! For anyone short Workhorse, man. That's why you pay attention, hopefully. It's a small win to start the day, but we'll take it. And we're lighting up the board right now with this one. So a great little trade here. I'm feeling ways, as you guys can see. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And with about 45 seconds to go, I mean, it didn't quite get to 1350. I mean, I think there's still room to go to the bottom here on Workhorse. I did take some on the pop because if I'm going to short in front of that 1550 area, I'm definitely going to take a bit of a pullback trade. If I've taken profit, I'm usually going to get into more shares if it's still playing off of the same level. I think Miss V is going to be on the bell just shortly. But let's watch out for that 930 action. There weren't a lot in the imbalances, but I'm going to be watching that YPR stock, try to chew on that one. It just tested 7 again and tried to get through and could not. So at the open, I'm looking for a quick failure there to try for a third time potentially on the short trade. But if you're going to short this thing, it is a freight train at this moment. 3, 2, and 1. Miss V is on the bell. Let's get this party started.
Yeah, let's see what's going on right now, guys. Good job, guys. Let's go. Thank you for the super chat, Jeff Richards there. Okay, CCL, guys, we're going to look at the top break, 2730, on the CCL top break. There goes Workhorse, guys. Yeah, we did it, man. We did it hard on Workhorse today. What a great, we're $1 plus $1.20. Just keep going, man. Big trade on Workhorse. Just watching this one go down. Watch out for that 1350 level. We'll see if that can come into play. But yeah, a big win for us as we hold on to half of our position. It just keeps on going to the downside. Big win here for Workhorse, guys.
Yeah, gonna take it. Gotta love that Workhorse. The first thing we talked about, and this is why we try to prioritize the biggest mover. You're gonna see I did try to pick this failed break at 7 on SYPR. I don't even get anything until 683 when I tried to get the retracement through $7. So 683 to the short side right now on SYPR. It is looking like the first move is going to be down off that failed break. That's why I wanted to quickly get that one to you guys. If I can take some out in front of 650, I'm going to go ahead and do that, grab some there. I think I got like 57s. I'll try one more time if it pops, but not going to let this take the high of the day. You got to watch out. I'll go back into it at around $7 if I can get it, and then that high at about 738 is going to be my new out.
Oops, we did it again. CCL to the upside, a big move. What up, Brittany? A big move to the upside. We just keep on going. 2 times daily right now, 2 times. Let's just keep going, man. Through 50s, through 51s, through 52s, through 53s, through 54s. What's next? 55s, 57s. You get the point. We're going to the upside right now. A beautiful out again. Look at that, 1364 on Workhorse. What else do you want? We're almost out of Workhorse now. It does exactly what we thought. And there goes CCL, man. Let's just keep on ripping. Great call, Cincinnati Video Guru. We take that and we hammer it. Big position alert right here, guys.
And wow, it goes Snapchat. So in for one win and out for the rest when top end goes on SYPR. That's the life of short selling. Snapchat 73 was double top pre-market. It was sliding down heavily before going into that number. It just tested at 750, so throw that one back out there. Want to make sure we mention that to you guys very, very quickly because that's a big player. RRD, which I know Brendan was mentioning, it's still going sideways. I have an offer at 350. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that because I want this right here, right now in front of 325 because that's going to be the kill zone for me. I apologize for these wicks, guys. It hasn't traded anywhere between outside of 3 to 325. 325 is a bit of a break, so if it gets through there, likely to head to 350. So I want it here and then a reversal at 325.
Yeah, so I guess we left an order and it's small order, so it's okay, but we did get filled done through 49. I said we'd wait for that to open. Doesn't matter. We get filled there and get out right as it breaks through that 80. So not a big trade here at all, but we did try Neo to the short side. It was a small trade on that one, but this is going to be bigger. So now Neo's going to the upside. So here we go, 50.22. Now we're long. Let's see what we could do with Neo here. Long 50.22, and it's ripping upside right now. Brenda, what's up?
Remember not to sleep on this one as well, guys. The other end of this Workhorse story, Oshkosh, OSK, yeah, just popping up on volume from 115 to 119 there at the open.
All right, Oshkosh. Yeah, I don't want to forget about that one as, yeah, Neo Rip City here. Let's just wait to see. We'll trade it back. Wow, 50-50 now. This is why we put on that trade. Boom, to the upside goes Neo. Big trade, man. We gave you that 50-20 level. Again, this was a mistake, but whatever. We have to be accountable for it. Out there, out. Now we put on way more shares to the upside because this is the trade that we liked. Let's moon now, Neo, and see how high we can go. We still are watching these futures, though. That's why we're getting out.
Yeah, I mean, the futures are actually teetering on coming back to that little downside. I got to go to Square here because it's testing those lows again. Remember that 242, 241 area? We're right on that little bottom. If the futures could just give a bounce, I'm going to throw a 245, a long breakout to the upside on Square if we can hold this low. I just like the opportunity there because you know the low of the day is going to be your out. You know 245 is a firm level, but we talked about bottom breaks potentially, and Square, 235 is that pie in the sky price if we can get it.
Yeah, we also talked about Ford. We didn't get to Ford on our watch list, though. Go, Neo! Bang! Big trade alert, guys. Hot dogs for everybody. This is a big one for Neo, man, as we just continue to rock and roll. CCL, 25 pennies in the money. Neo, $1 in the money. Well, actually, not $1.
We actually did talk about Ford, but in the midst of trying to trade SYPR, you're not going to get everything at once. I gave you guys 11.75 as a bit of a long trade for a breakout, but at 9.30, there's only so many things you can be trading at once. In Workhorse, in RRD now, also in that GSAT, and then, of course, trading SYPR. It's a little bit much to have tried to get that break in 75 on Ford, but we did mention that one to you. It's now headed towards high of day. Brennan?
Another one really strong this morning, Jumia, guys, JMIA. It's been on a tear end of last year into the beginning of this year, but reported earnings in the pre-market here that were better than expected. So a nice move here, 46 to 50 on JMIA.
Okay, yeah, I was just saying, I must have been away when we did Ford, so I apologize for that. I like this 1190 break. That was on my list as well. We didn't tweet out our list, but 1190 break on Ford is what we're looking at. And I mean, you can't play Workhorse too much better than that. You know, like we get that very bottom. I don't know if this was actual bottom, 1290. I mean, I didn't have any bids out there, so I don't know. But 1363, a great in. And then we just got out for flat. I said we'd look at that 1525 level, but whatever. We get out the rest for flat. That was the last 5%. You could just add these up, man. Big trade alert there. CCL, thank you so much, man. I mean, this was a great break. I love trading CCL. I've been short it recently. We did reverse that strategy. Now we go to the upside. What a big trade here for CCL. 27.25, and we're still going high side there. So, and we still have some on. We still have 25% on of our CCL trade. So what a moonshot this one's being, guys. And we did clean up most of our Neo up here at 51. You used some pre-market levels there. We'll see if it can retrace higher, though. I think it can. Watch out for the market puking, though. Brendo.
Yeah, the cruise companies are strong. So are the airlines. Look at UAL here through this 51.75 high in the pre-market, straight to 52.5, guys, for UAL.
Yep.
Well, I can confirm on Workhorse, it never, like, I didn't see that 1290 actually print. I saw like that 1350 area. I look at the 13 now. I like the 1550. If it breaks that, I want to go into a trial at a long position just on pure momentum. But I'm going to tighten up the stop on this reload. It's like the third entry I've had here. And it's such a harsh move down, snapping back up, that usually that third time through, it's going to be a tighter stop. So forget about 25s. I'll get out of this one at 15 even. The reload is right there at about 75. And then just to go back to Square, yeah, if it had broken 245, I definitely would have had that for a long break. But we're going the other way in the market, guys. We're heading back southbound. So hang on to your shorts. That's all I got over here. And you know, pick out some price levels that you like on some of these names. Just to come back to that SYPR, it does still want to try to trade below 7, but this one looking entirely too strong. Might have to wait till the opening range is made. RRD, on the other hand, looking pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Yes, thank you, Greg, as I message him. Okay, Neo. So Neo does come all the way back down, and we just got out at 50 there, but we didn't have anything left on board. So it's still a loser for Neo overall because of this trade. But wow, that was a really great rebound back upside, man, to take out some of that 51 level. But then we noted all day that these futures are getting ready to do moves like this. So watch out. I am trying to bottom pick on Uber. We talked about that, but it's not until 53-ish, so 53.50. On Uber, we'll look at that. Palantir will go over. Maybe that's tanking as well right now. Nah, not really. Actually holding up pretty good. Wow, it does go to 27 right off the open. Watch out for this 26.40. That could break on this market move, but maybe that's also a bottom, 26.50. Let's play off a little bit of 26.50 here, just in case that was the bottom, guys.
Yeah, and just quickly overlooking at Tesla, look out for this 705 low. I mean, with the market trying to test 13,000, if 13,000 breaks and Tesla breaks through 05, we've seen what happens with momentum. Breakdown trades have worked before on this name, so I'm going to go for it here. If we break 705 on Tesla, I'll just attempt to wear the pink shorts again. It's been hit or miss for me. It was last year, but this year, so far, 2 for 2 when I've tried these trades on Tesla. I want to come back to Workhorse if I can. Got to zoom in because the scaling is going to be nuts because it's moved so far. It just bounced off of 14.25, and my reload at 75 could have taken 50 cents. I don't know why I wanted exactly 50 cents. That level of greed is going to get me. So if we come back to like 30 or so, I'll be happy with that. There's the attempt at Tesla. Through that 705. I got 84s to the short side. So the market is continuing to test that 13,000. We're not through it yet, so you do have to watch out, guys.
Yeah, no, things are coming back, man.
Yeah.
I still have that NEO trade. This time, I like this 49 break. If we break through 49, watch out below on NIO. We'll just see. We can retest back into this area, maybe basically 48. I mean, $1 down wouldn't surprise me. We've already moved $2 today on NIO. So watch out for this. There's that bottom 48.90. Maybe I'll switch it up and we'll go short up 48.90, not a 48 break. But NEO's been okay. It's holding up not horribly. Our CCL, we did get some out again at 60. So now we're holding, I said 25%, now we're holding 20%. Let's just wait to see. I think this is a good reload opportunity here for CCL, Brendo.
Some of the LiDAR companies, guys, worth a look. Microvision coming back to the downside here on big volume. They announced an offering up here this morning, but it's been sold with the rest of the market. I saw Luminar doing volume as well, guys.
Might not be pink shorts for me. We'll see. We're sort of a broken record with this one. There it is, finally hitting the broken record. If we break 715 on that Tesla, we talked about the 1300 holding. That's exactly what happened. That was the first sort of cautionary tale. Now, there was a failure on the NQs at 13100, and the second I saw it turn there, that was going to be the price to be able to take more shares. As long as we hold VWAP in 15s, I'll still be in this trade. But if we don't take 13,000, there's almost zero chance that this is going to push to the downside on Tesla. And it's not about trading with house money. I take this trade whether we made before or not. Just felt the market was a little bit weak. Workhorse as well. So you got to watch out for all of your short positions. Workhorse might be in a different category today. But like I said, tighter stop at that 15 area. And 1550, I will try along at Workhorse through 1550. It's just too much of a gap fill in terms of upside to not at least attempt that trade, guys.
Yeah, Palantir breaks back down below, and I thought we were trying to get out if it did break below, but now we wait. 26 and change. We're going to look. We tried that 50 here. We just tried it now, so I don't know about all these wicks that's happening. I've been watching it. We're going to hold the line here at 26.25 and see if that can hold. I don't want to give it too much room to the downside. That's Palantir. But look at CCL, guys. You want to talk about a reload. We reloaded CCL big time right there at that same price. So a nice little bounce back for CCL. So we're working CCL, and we're trying to work this Palantir. But I should have been more patient and waited for that 25.50 instead of 26.50. But we're not out of the money too far. So let's just see what happens here with Palantir, but a big win back for CCL, guys.
And just to come back to this RRD, because some are slow movers, I did get in right off that 315 at that 325 sort of hard floor or hard top. The low of the day was 3. I took some shares out in front of it. I can tell you Tesla just retested 705, but keep in mind, that 13,000 still holding on the ES, guys, so we have to watch out for that. And Workhorse, there's the tighter stop at 15, so I'm all out of that one. The third trade is going to be the loser, so 2 for 3 for me on Workhorse, and I will attempt this long through 1550 if it does try to go. Brennan?
I just saw Fisker here popping up on volume. Did try to get back above 19 here, guys. Was support a couple of times in the pre-market, but rejected. Still up 15% though for FSR.
Oh, yeah, I actually just put a bid in for FSR there to try to get that 1925 long, but no dice on that one. So we did get that NEO short. Like, this is violent, man. Like, I didn't, maybe I'm trading too many shares. Like, this just, I got short and then it ripped right to 49.20 there. I don't know, again, like, it goes down to 48.88 there. I still think we could break this higher, so I'm going to give it all the way back here, 49.85. This could be a disaster trade if it doesn't work, but we're just going to wait for it now to see if it wants to move down. If the NASDAQ wants to come back downside, then we know we have a winner with NEO. But again, it is going to be market specific here. As I'm on the bid, like I'm on the bid at 85. I don't know why it's just bouncing off us there. Come on, go to 85 and fill me for at least a little piece here, guys, if we could. Let's wait for NEO. CCL, though, that's making us a winner, up to 20. Big win here on CCL, man. Thank you, Cincinnati Video Guru, for this one. 27.30 long, guys. We're just cashing out again on the high side of CCL.
Yeah, and here comes Tesla again bouncing off of 705. So this looks like it's going to be that key level. And of course, I did get some shares in front of that 715. So I'm going to have like a 709.5 average price there. Could I take some out at 05s? No, that's not my kill zone. You have to be willing to lose to make in this market. And we are still testing lower. And as long as that's the case on the NASDAQ, I'm going to hang with this one as my short play. I was looking to get back into Workhorse, but I'm probably not going to do that just yet. And I want to make sure we don't forget Snapchat. Snap, of course, look, they had Investor Day, was very, very bullish on that particular name. 73 break, I'm going to have to throw that out into the garbage and start thinking about 70 even as a support level. If the market tries to bounce here and we're anywhere close to 70, let's use that as a defensible point on Snapchat.
I'm getting either really nervous or really excited. I guess it's a little bit of both. Like 48.80, that's like 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is why I don't want to give up this short, guys. I mean, I think that if we finally do break and we're right about the NASDAQ and it just continues to puke downside, NEO should follow suit here. And you know what? I mean, we are going to die on the sword on this one because if this goes back up, we'll lose. And we had a rough ride with NEO a little bit yesterday. There we go, 85s now. Okay, now we're starting to go down. So get filled there at 85, now 83, 82. Okay, so this is starting to work for us. Palantir comes out, which is completely fine. We will take that risk again, but here comes NEO to the downside. I think we have this one, guys, but we'll wait. We're out of 10% of our NEO trade as it's looking downside more.
John, before we go to Brendan, I had to take some of Tesla off in front of that 700. If it's going to play this bounce game, I might try to reload in and around like 8 to 10s, and then if it's 700 breaks, I like maybe 685 area for a target to the downside here. But the market's still holding 13,000. Brendo?
Mentioned CCL. Here's Norwegian as well. This last little high here from a couple days ago, 29.80, guys, just blew through that. Tested it a couple times, but volume came in at 29.80 there. 5.5% for Norwegian.
Oh, man. Okay, so here we go, man. Palantir just going to the downside. We did get out there, so not a big hit at all for this 40 cents. We can absorb that, that's for sure. Looks like it's going to break 26 anytime now. I don't like the short through here. I'd love to get that 25.50 like we talked about. Hopefully that can come through soon on that name. Big trade on Workhorse. Obviously, we talked about that all day. Good thing we didn't wait for that 15.25 or else we would have got, we would have lost some of our profits there. But we do get out of that short for flat. NEO. Okay, it's fine. We did cover a bunch there at 80. I mean, how many times do we have to see that happen? So now that that's happened, we can hold the rest back to the upside. We still have a big part of it. We still have 75% of our trade here on NEO, looking for it to break lower. I don't know if that's going to happen, and we are getting out of some of our CCLs. We are going to wait for Ford as well, 1190. That's not happening, but this is a good little spot. It's built at a bottom here at 1175. I think that's decent. Let's go long Ford right now and use that 75 break as an issue for us to get out if it does continue to go down.
Well, it's back at that 75. I love that
level. There goes
level.
Fisker too.
Yeah, I love that level on Ford. I got to come back to this SYPR, if not briefly, and you might have seen me hang my head there. Yeah, I tried shorting this like multiple times, had muted success before taking hits on the second half of every position. This time through 580, this looks like an interesting level. If it gets through 580, it's probably going to be floodgate time and then use the view op as you're out. But this is still a relatively strong stock. It's in the upward trend until it breaks that price. So you got to tread very, very lightly here. We didn't talk about Sundial, but this pushed at 7 o'clock only to retrace just about everything. And it's right back at this 135 level. This was a key price in the pre-market. This was the sort of, I guess, the jump off on the move. Opening range top is 136. I usually short this one. If Sundial breaks 136, I'm looking to go long through the, not the high of the day, but the opening range top on Sundial. Just watch out for that.
Okay, so we are into Fisker there. We got out at the 50 level when it broke. We are through 1925. That's the level that we played. I still think we retest higher, man. Watch out for, I don't have any offers out again, or do I? No, I do have one at 48. And then we'll wait at 68, and then we'll see what happens upside 19 and change. I don't think this is worth dropping until we get at least this level here, 1878 or so. So let's try to do some better risk management with this position. CCL still up that 20 cents. I'm not too worried. We emptied it all out again upside. So we'll just hold on to a little piece in case it does run. And then here goes NEO right back up to VWAP. So You know, we tried it and we got out. We got light there on the futures rebounding. If the futures kept tanking, you guys know we were going to hold that one. So not a big hit at all with NEO, but we've been back and forth with that. Hey, at least we tried it, man. I mean, we tried NEO. It just didn't work out. 49.81 is that level. So it's bouncing right here. We talked about that break. If that does break, we'll get out of NEO. But right now, Fisker bouncing around. We thought we'd play that break. Brendan brought us with some news here on the 19 break. We looked at it. We like this 19.25. I play quarters. So that's where we're long. And we're going to use 18.85 or so as our out, but target upsides of like 19.20, guys.
And I got to go with, I'm pretty happy about this. I'm going to use an old one, the backflip, because 13,000 holds another time there, and I was in the money on that Tesla position. We said we have to use that level to our advantage. Had a chance to be able to get some out in front of 02s, and that was a bit of a gut call there. And then I saw 710 breaking when the market was bouncing off this level. So I got out. I'm going to be up on Tesla overall, but watching for this like 715 break. If we're breaking through 13.1, I want this long on Tesla. It looks like the reversal could be in. It's not as big a move to the downside as yesterday, but we've seen what happens when this catches a little bit of a bottom and the market trying to bounce off this low end of the range. Brendan?
Another one to look at, guys, little therapeutics company. It's actually not that little, 6 billion market cap. We'll call it a mid cap. Halozyme Therapeutics up on earnings, earnings beat, in fact. Big volume here for $50 that got taken out there. All-time highs today for HALO.
Okay, so we did bust a little bit of a long and got out some there at 50 off this break. So now we'll hold NEO as it looks like the market wants to go back up. So that's a good sign for us. Fisker, though, not really doing a whole hell of a lot. So I think it looks like we'll probably have to wait on Fisker. Doesn't look like that wants to do much, but we're still in the money here. I'm just waiting for that 50 to break. And then, like we just mentioned, even higher spots, I think, can come here on FSR. So we'll wait for that one to see where it blows. Here it goes. Can we get that 48 right now on Fisker, and then that will be it, and then we'll wait for this top 60. Again, I like counting a little bit of profits on some of these trades. There he goes. So there's the 48, so a nice win there on Fisker. It's been back and forth today, man. Today's been a little bit of a tricky day for me. We only have one losing stock. It's NEO, but now we go to the high side. You see where we're long, 49.82, a 40-cent win now, and I guess we could probably hold, especially if the market wants to do this here on Fisker. Looks like a good trade. Sorry, on NEO. Looks like a good trade to the upside, and there goes Fisker again. Let's see if it doesn't go. I thought we were going to break 50 there. We'll wait to see if that does happen, guys.
Yeah, and a bit of a break that 715 does come, but we're still below 13,100, I should say, not 3,100. So I'm going to take quickly a third off for whatever profit I can get. It's only going to be $1 on Tesla, but it's more about lightening the position. If the futures are going to stay in this range, I wanted to see his breakthrough. It was about to happen simultaneously. The Tesla trigger came first. And that's one of the reasons to lighten the load. And then at least that way, it gives me the option without adjusting my sort of internal risk parameters that I can go long on a dip if I still like it. So if we hold 13,000 on the NASDAQ, I still want to be in this sort of reversal play in Tesla. Still holding 2/3. I would definitely take some off in front of 725. If you're watching at the open, that is as high as Tesla was able to get before making that hard reversal. And every now you're going to get bottom wick on a short. I basically got that one at 702. Coming back into Snapchat, I don't know why we didn't trigger through 73. We talked about this level all morning long. I must have accidentally canceled at some point, but Snapchat is through that 73 level. If I can get lucky on a pullback, I'll try to buy this dip.
Yeah, so again, I don't normally use this excuse, but like I have no idea. I thought I said I was going to go long Ford. I don't know why I didn't, but look at this bump up. If you guys did, I guess I was just too busy looking at NEO and Fisker there when that popped in. Damn it. Sometimes you got to sort of, I don't know. I mean, it's a missed opportunity. I can't say it any more than that. But I'm just looking at too many things. You got to lighten it up. So now I have 3 positions on. And yeah, I feel bad because we did miss that trade there. We just got some more out of Fisker and before it dropped. So here we go. We should get executed out soon on an 1880 break. We talked about that. I don't know why that drop just happened, but we were able to get out the majority, about half, not the majority, half, exactly half of our trade there on Fisker. So it looks like this one could be close. I mean, it will be a loser if it does tip down to 1880, but we were waiting for that upside move. I don't know what that drop was all about right there, but a big drop there in Fisker as we're holding the shares. So not a good feeling on that one, but it looks like it may take out that 1880, which is definitely a key spot for Fisker. May reload down here, actually. Too late. There it goes back to the upside, but maybe not. Good little spot there. Let's go to Valeria as I'll decide what we got to do down here.
Guys, AMC is a popular stock on the chart, trading on high volume. Do you see any opportunities in AMC for yourself today? Back to you.
Oh, wow. This looks a little more interesting than when I first checked it this morning. Look, there was obviously a couple of big ramps in the last couple of sessions in AMC, and it is a recovery play. Let's keep in mind. I know everyone talks about the meme stocks, but you got to think about the recovery as well. I don't like this top end, if only because if you go to yesterday's high, right at like 785, you're running into a lot of trouble by taking a 770 break. But we do have this same floor area. This is my 15-minute, by the way. So if you get anything in front of like 7 even, maybe call it like 710 to 715, it is a defensible price. But we are very, very range bound in the market. I'm trying to resist temptation. It's like 14 handles on the ES up and down twice. It's essentially 100 points in the NASDAQ up and down twice. And I was just about to reload into some Tesla when I realized, no, if we can't break out of this range, I don't want to be dipping into anything too harshly. So let's allow this to settle itself out and pick a direction. And if you can get AMC in front of 7 to the long side and you like that, I'd much prefer looking at a break through the high of the day yesterday if it's going to show some strength. But if you like the top, I would just be very, very careful on a 770. That could fail at 85s very quickly, and then you'd be in trouble. Brennan?
Another earnings name, guys. McAfee did gap up significantly here, 21.5, but we're all the way back to $20 trying to bounce here. Volume, bit of an issue with this one, so just be careful if you're going to look at McAfee, but did pop up on positive earnings yesterday, guys.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit the yeehaw because you come from Brennan and you get a winning trade. Snapchat, we finally get it. We talked about buying the dip, so I do buy some in front of 73. It dips down to the previous high. I can pick some up there as well in front of VWAP. So average price ends up being like around like 72.90 or so. Then it gives me 73.50 there, so a nice little win. But it's not all happy because what did I just? It was like 5 minutes ago that I was saying, okay, guys, watch out for Sundial. Usually I'm shorting this name, 136, go time, and there's another one. So Ford, now Sundial, approaching the high of the day. If I get a chance to fade the high of the day on Sundial when it's already failed there once in the pre-market, I'm always going to do it the second time too. So it's a 145 top, and you're going to give me a shot at 144 to be able to get in. I'm going to take that basically every single time. So if I can get here passively on the offer, I'm going to get short in front of high of day. I just got some shares there at 44. It didn't get enough. Maybe I'll try midpoint, see if I can't get a midpoint there, but I'll take anything I can get in front of 145 after missing out on that long.
Okay, so we're just watching Uber right now. Pretty choppy here, and you know what? I mean, I want to get this bid. I want to bid it through the 75. So let's wait to see if we can hit 75. We'll just play off a key level. Realistically, the breakout would be here, like 55 even maybe, even higher. We tested 55.39. Let's just see if it can withhold some of this movement. I don't want to start bidding because I do know that Uber will fall. I mean, if it has to, it will. And it looks like it's trying to right now. So the only thing that I'm thinking about right now, CCL, we've got that. That's the only trade that I have on right now. We'll see if that one can massage itself through. But I do like that Uber on a break. We'll take Uber long. We still are waiting for Ford to break, and we'll find some more trades for you. Snapchat's a good one too. I know Neil has that. And Palantir bouncing off that 26 seems to be a level as well. What up, Beep?
This was once a high flyer on pandemic-related news, but AIM Immunotech just popping up here. Holding 250 on this last little pullback. They announced, looks like orphan status from the FDA, or European, my mistake, European Medicines Agency giving them orphan status for a pancreatic cancer treatment, guys.
Okay, so every time someone says pandemic, I just keep thinking about The Wire. And if you guys know that reference, good for you. Not curing any pandemics and not even related. Sundial here. I just talked about picking up shares there in front of that 145. I was only able to get some at 144. I had to get the rest at 143. It dipped right back down. I just took some shares out at 140. 140 half I actually got, so I got a little midpoint action there. I'm still going to be short in front of the 145 even price. I just watched again the futures bounce off of 13,000. So the second I saw it happen, I dipped into some more Tesla here. If it tests 715, at some point I got to be happy. Like, let's just maybe scalp some of this range, which is I haven't been doing and I probably should be. So I'm going to go ahead and throw an offer in front of like 715. I still want to hang on to the bulk of the position, but if I can take a third off and start working this range a little bit better. And when we finally go, I want a net long, and I'm still going to have a target, and I'll have an order out in front of 725, call it like 21 to 23, in case we get that massive move to the upside, which I think, if 13,000 holds, I see no way we don't test 725 on Tesla, but that is a magic number on the NASDAQ right now.
Okay, yeah, so we're in a bunch of positions now. Again, so CCL, 16-cent winner. We're taking it out again at the same levels here, 60s and 50s. If we're lucky enough to get those, we'll do it. Okay, and then Ford breaks through 90s. We get 91s and then 92s as well. So I don't know what's up with that one, but we are long right now, 91.50. So I guess my order must have just double filled there. 91s and 92s on the way up and down. So 91.50 is the order. I want to get longer in here. If we do break below 11.83, though, we'll get out of that one. CCL now at an exit point. And then here we go. We took this. We talked about taking Uber down here somewhere. We didn't do it because we were scared that the market could keep falling down. So we did want to play a breakout on this one. It's an okay time for breakouts. It's 10 o'clock. I think the market, with the way it moves, I think that's a good play right now. The market could go either way, but you know, on a boost back up, I love Uber, and I love it retesting these highs again. So let's just wait to see. I think that we might have this. We'll take a little bit off if we get to 54, maybe even this little resistance level, 54.90, although that's only 15 cents, but maybe we'll take out a 25% there, and then we'll wait to see. I'm holding it all the way back to a 54.30 break. If that happens, we'll get out and we'll lose again. But here comes back. I mean, look at the futures.
Yeah,
Look,
these futures are testing that 13,000. So like, actually, I'm watching the NASDAQ more than anything else for these position covers. So both Snapchat right here off of VWAP, Tesla right here around like 708, and this 13,000 coming into play. I'm going to hang on to my sundial. I actually canceled some bids there because if the market starts flooding, I want to hang on to any short that I have. And this is going to be a continual regret for me. I have to get into this SYPR because it's starting to flush. It did break that 580. I couldn't catch it on the way down. I'll see if I can start working into a position if this makes any kind of a bounce, but like that 13,000, if it goes, look for some shorts. If you can find anything breaking through the low of the day, they're going to be interesting trades through there. GSAT I've had all morning, and that's been a good one, but I just finally got into that SYPR again. Snapchat and Tesla are the big ones, though. If we break 13,000, both those will be hits for me.
Yes, sir, for sure. Okay, so we did take one average in here on Uber right here at 50. So you can see that print comes all the way down to VWAP. We'll take that all day. Now our average price, 68. So we take a third more. So for example, if I have 2,000 shares here, I just got 1,000 more. So not a third more, just added. So now it's 1,000 would be 3,000, a third to the position. So there it is. So we take some more Uber on that VWAP. Let's give it a go and see. We were waiting to average, what? Where was my Ford bid? 87s? Give me a break. It goes down as low there as 88s. We just missed the 87 bid. Let's put an 88 one just in case that gets filled next time. But Uber rallying, CCL right up to that spot. We've been doing what we said, getting out on the high side, but so far so good. Uber looking to bounce back. Let's see what these futures want to do. Back over to the big screen. He's going to tell us more about the markets right now, Brendan.
Yeah, trying to bounce, guys. Let's have a look at North American markets here. We are still red across the board, but we are off the lows, specifically for the Dow and the S&P, 0.3% now for the S&P. We're trying to get flat here for the Dow, so we'll keep an eye on that. NASDAQ, not so much. You can see leading as far as declines are concerned. Full percent for the 100. We have the composite down about 0.75%. The Russell's positive. TSX here in Toronto, break even at this point. Bovespa down in Brazil, down slightly, 0.2%. If you're in Brazil. Good morning. Snapchat here, guys. We did get to all-time highs, as Neil and Sean were mentioning, but coming back into 72.5, which kind of aligns with these pre-market highs and also that high from late in the day yesterday for Snapchat. Another one to look at here, Tesla trying to hold 700, came down here a couple of times and held nicely. So we're in a bit of a range as far as Tesla is concerned, but 700 definitely a level at this point. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Brendan. And you mentioned Snapchat. Yeah, because I was able to get some shares out there in front of that 73, we reloaded in front of VWAP. I'm going to take some here again. Now, obviously, I'm watching finger on the trigger, hair trigger here for that 13,000 mark in both Tesla and Snapchat. You can see them come out possibly at the same moment. If that's going to be true, if we break 13, I don't want either one of these to the long side. Oddly enough, Sundial just bounced there, guys. So I actually thought this was going to go floodgates all the way into VWAP. It made a little bit of a bounce. It didn't go all the way to 45s. If it had, trust me, I would have gotten more shares to the short side. So that didn't actually happen, guys. But here comes that 13,000 test on the NASDAQ. This is where my focus is going to be, at least in the short term here. So if we get a hold below that price, tested it a couple of times here, maybe going a couple of ticks below. But if the floodgates open, watch out, because that Tesla 700, I don't want to hold till 700. I want to make sure I'm out before that even happens.
Yeah, we had to get out of half of our Uber there on that kind of a break-in. Looks like we'll be getting out more if it does retest these bottoms. Look, I mean, there's the market bouncing to the downside here. Maybe take a little bit more now ahead of 54. I don't know. We did test that Uber, negative news today with more competition. So we can wait now, I guess, and maybe until 53.60 to see if we get some better longs down on the downside there of Uber. But right now, yeah, it is cracking downside. So good thing we got out there at that 30 break like we talked about. We retested it at VWAP. And then like this feels like yesterday again, where the market just kind of heading to the downside without that much violence. But it's coming to the downside. It looks like it's like Neil just said, there you have that 13,000 on the NASDAQ, just bounces off that. It does give us an opportunity to get some more forward though. We bought some 89s some 90s this time right here. Our best out 94s, I believe, yes. So now we're reloading into that one. We'll see if that one can work. We've been getting out of our CCL. So really just two losers today, like NEO, not a big loser, but a loser. We'll try one more time if that bottom does break in case the market does want to do that. I think that we have a nice one with NEO on the bottom break. Of that bottom, 48.80, we'll go short again. We'll try. And then Uber, again, resisting a little bit. My upside targets are up here, 55 and change. So if the market rallies, that's where I have my bids, my offers. So we will wait to see if that one comes through. Other than that, we're waiting for a 53.65 or so down here on Uber just to see if that comes through. Who knows?
Gates of hell action. We just broke that 13,000 mark, so I'm out of both. We said they'd be hits. I should have kept those pink shorts in line there on Tesla and on, well, you don't get pink shorts if you're going short. It didn't actually end up going short on Snap, but either way, both of them break. I'll simultaneously get out. Here's Snapchat breaking 72s. We're holding below that 13,000 mark. So some of those short bottom breaks that we're looking at. Tesla 702 was the actual low of the day. I would obviously prefer the round number of 700. You can take it off the low of the day if you like. I'll wait for 700 here. Berendo, what's up, buddy?
All right, a couple of things, guys. Sunesis Pharmaceuticals. Somebody was mentioning this in the chat, wondering what the deal is with this SNSS. Here we go. They updated their current quarter Q1 projections this morning, pre-market, that were better than expected. So looks like that's a bit of a catalyst for SNSS. This one as well, DealMed partnering with Kodak, Eastman Kodak, guys, the story that never goes away, for infrared thermometers. So a little pop right there on Kodak, up 3%.
It really doesn't go away, does it? Okay, NEO right here to the downside as well. We have that trade, so we are patiently waiting, I should say, for that to do a move here as we have NEO 48.73. I don't know. Again, that's just how violent it is. Like some of these breaks are giving us like crazy prices on this, but we do have NEO. We're gonna wait to see how low this one can go. Look at the futures, man. We're breaking. I know Neil just got snapped out of Snapchat and out of Tesla. You got to be fast on the trigger on some of these plays, guys, especially if the move is in. So watch out. Very, very careful. Tread lightly on some of this. We did get some more Uber longs as well, so we are waiting to see if that wants to do anything. And then we're going and picked up a nice little Microsoft on the downside as well. So yeah, we're protecting the downside right now, and it doesn't look great.
Yeah, and I did get into, while all that was happening, that SYPR, remember that stock from, I don't know, half an hour ago? So back into this time a little more calm on some consolidation. So I do have multiple entries here in front of $6. Now, you obviously have to look at like 625, 635 as a bit of an area that'll be of concern. If it gets through that price, I'll give up the ghost one more time. You have to have an out. Tesla right now on the bid, 700. So it looks like it's trying to chew through as the futures continue to go to the downside. So there are some reversals happening, even though it is, look, it's actually holding this bid still. That was like 30, 40,000 shares it just held, and there might be a bit of a refresher. No, there is not. I didn't even get it. Did not cross far enough. Did I only cross $1? Well, actually, no, it didn't cross $1. I crossed like 15 cents. So that was a bit of a keystroke. I ended up getting 99.95, and that's pure luck. Because when it broke down originally, I probably should have had a better order in there. The NASDAQ, as long as we hold that 13, it's going to be a similar play to before. I think that's going to be the key price. And you start thinking about where the downside is on Tesla. We gave 680 as the place where if it ever got to that price, it is definitely a long no matter what. Well, I shouldn't say no matter what because I think apocalypse, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a nice little out there on Microsoft as it rips high side. Their 29.25 bid out right there, some at 58 for 30 cents. So we're going to wait to see how far that one wants to go. We're getting out of some of our NEO here in the 50 range. It does bounce off that 50, so giving me a little bit of a scare there. Not sure what to expect with NEO. It's very, very violent. Like I'm in the money, then all of a sudden I'm out of the money on that one as it just keeps on bouncing around. So some scary moments there for NEO. Microsoft, we did like that bounce. bounce that just happened, but it's getting woodshedded as well a little bit. Find out what yesterday's bottom was here. Where are we? This bottom right here, 228. So if we break 228.75, I'm going to be out of Softy, but we're going to give it that bottom just to see. So 228.75 as an out there on Softy. If not, let's see if we can hold back to the upside. 40 cents in the money right now.
Yeah, and had a bad trigger on SYPR, so I had to get back into this one, and it's going to happen to you sometimes. It never actually broke through that quarter to 35 mark, so I jumped back into the position on it, so it is what it is. You're going to end up paying some spread there, which is a little frustrating, but it happens from time to time. Tesla is still attempting. If we get back over 1,300, it's going to be a short-lived trade. It might be like $4 or $5 of a hit, which I guess isn't much if you're shooting for like 80s and 85s, but for me, I wish I had stuck to the guns short side in front of 715. That's going to be the barn burner for me today when I'm reviewing my trades. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
Just saw Baidu down 6% here, guys. No real significant news on Baidu, starting to trade a little bit more similarly to the EV makers, especially the Chinese ones, just coming down to 300. Big level here for Baidu, guys, 300.
Ooh, Baidu for 300. Yeah, so Uber there comes out. Again, we tried 53 defense. Like so far for Uber today, it's been an Uber disaster to the downside. It's not a lot of money we're losing, but now we're getting interested again because this is these levels, these bottoms, man, 53.50. We do have a bid down here. Hopefully we can get picked up. Don't know if we will or not, but 53.50 looking like a downside move here for Uber. If we can get that, like where am I bidding? I'm bidding 53.65. So let's wait to see if that comes through, and then we'll just see if it holds yesterday's bottom of 53.50. If it doesn't, man, we got to flash out of that one. NIO, a nice little 17-cent winner and still moving down. We just got filled on the bid again at 50, so that's a good one. We're short 75. So some of our shorts working out here. The longs, not so much, but we'll wait to see here what is going to happen with some of these trades to the downside. But there goes NIO downside. Microsoft, flashing around, not doing too much. The big concern for me is right here, man. Uber. Let's see if we get that fill at 65. Where did it go? 65. And it stopped. We didn't get long down there. That's a tragedy. I hope we do get it, because if that's the bottom, then I'm really going to be pissed off. Thank you for the CA there, the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Mealy Racing. Neil's been trading CCIV. Maybe he could talk about that. I have no comment.
I'll get to that in a second, but this was like a quick reversal, and it's like as fast as I get long into SYPR and I'm able to take out half for profit, it's immediately coming back in. So this stock is all over the bloody place here. And if it can't hold above six even, I'm going to walk away from this stock for the rest of the day, because on a breakout trade like that where shorts just got broken, which I think is usually a good long into 7 even, it couldn't even go more than 20 pennies. So way too much chop in this SYPR. If this move can't hold above 25, forget about it. Brendo?
Another one doing higher volume today, guys. Upwork, UPWK online employment site. Upwork down on the session, but yeah, big move after market yesterday as earnings were much better than expected for Upwork. CEO coming on CNBC here in a couple of minutes, though, guys, so heads up.
Upwork.
I was going to say, I'm like, the short that's working here, now Tesla is trying to get through the low of the day, and I still have it, guys, on 99.95. But Sundial broke through VWAP, and I'm going to start taking this one off. It's starting to get a little bit crazy down here, and there was buying around that 135 mark before, so you can only hold on to it so far. 127 is the low of the day. It's not that I'm ignoring the stock, but you'll see me probably focus a little bit more on the management of the losing trades than the ones that are just sitting in the money for you guys. So obviously, it's been a good one for me here on Sundial. Tesla, and it just bounced down off like 695 or 696 or so. Again, I'll try to scalp a third off. It's just ridiculous, because if we're going to hold 13,000, again, I want the opportunity to get some better prices if this is going to be a move to the downside. This is exactly what I tried before that didn't work out for me. If I kept my guns, that would have been okay. I still like this 680 area, and I just go back to where we were breaking out, and we had that failed to get through 700, and I'm going back to late December or mid-December there, and we finally got through that 700 mark. The bottom end of this range, the previous top end of this range was like a 666 to 680. So I like that price as a bit of support on Tesla. It just bounced again. So I'm going to try to get a reload if I can on the north side of 7 even. That 710 is probably going to have to be the new line in the sand. So Sundial, hang on to the short. SYPR, this is why I get out of it. The stock is just entirely too choppy. The breakouts aren't working on it. You can't even hold anything on this SYPR. Maybe if it gets below 550, I don't know. But I had that long. You couldn't do anything with it here, guys. That's entirely frustrating. And then the shorts are coming right back into play. So through 550, maybe there's a bit of a downward break. I'm just going to hold on to my Tesla as long as we're short. This one's in the money a couple of bucks here. Let's see if we can't finally get like 10, 15 bucks out of this trade.
Yeah, that'd be nice, especially if this market keeps going downside here. So just be very, very careful with what's happening. I've made a little bit of money back on some of these plays, so that's a good one, man. We're just cashing out of our softie because we see that the market is just going downside. So no losers yet, but here it goes. Break downside. We still have NEO downside, so that's breaking lower. Look at this trade. Bang, 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 bang. We finally hit NEO today. We finally got that short, so that's working out for us. Unfortunately, our Ford, we've averaged into this one. It's bait down here to VWAP. That looks like that'll get us out. So we have to wait for this 82 break. That could happen sooner rather than later, and I don't like it. So Ford right now long at 89. Let's see if that one can go back up. But right now, Microsoft, NEO, and Uber are really the problems that I have. And we had to take 75 because we missed our 65. Like it literally goes down to 66 there. We're bidding 65, as I said. So let's wait to see if that one can come through. I need a market rebound, so let's see if that happens. But we do have NEO short at least, Brendan.
One of the reasons the market not a lot lower, I feel, is this group here. The banks, guys, are strong. Once again today, led by Wells Fargo, up 1%. JP Morgan also. But look what's happening right now. They're starting to sell even the banks. So have a look at banks, guys, if you're looking for strength.
Yeah, I mean, keep searching. We're trying to look. The market's trying to hold down, but it's not like we're absolutely floodgating to that downside. I should review some of the other stocks that we have on. I know we're spending a lot of time talking about Tesla, which is still trying to move past that 696. That GSAT, I did get a reload. I talked about this one at $2. So it did come back up and give me another reload up here. 198.85, 198.5 is going to be my average price. Every time it dips down to this like 185 bottom, I'm always going to be taking some profit out as long as I can. It's about that 10-cent winner. It's a $2 stock. So, relatively speaking, you should be taking that type of profit if you can get it. I just got all out of Sundial, so we'll hit me riding a bear, I suppose, because back to normal on Sundial, I guess. Even though I would like to say, even though this short is going to work, and I had a similar one the other day, I would have hit this, and I was trying to hit that 136 break for more shares, and I was going to short the stock. I love that long. I thought it was a great breakout style long trade. I just missed it because of the time of day that it happened when I was watching some other moves. So as good as this short has turned out to be on Sundial, it would have been an even better long. And again, Tesla testing 695, 696 area and bouncing. So if we finally get through this level, the market's heading downside. I've now sort of not capitulated, but thrown a bid in front of 690. I'd get the rest out in front of 680. But I don't think we have the level of panic or, we're talking fast and we're all excited. This is not nearly as crazy to the downside as we saw the other day. And that's why I'm no longer going to average into this Tesla. I will not add to the short position. We're not showing the kind of weakness that we were yesterday at all, guys. And watch out for that turn.
We did have a $1 plus win there on NEO. We didn't take it. We're light. We only have that 10% left. We did dump it all out here because we're watching our Microsoft and our NEO. Like I'm long Uber, long Microsoft, short NEO. So yeah, we noticed yesterday how weak NEO was on the market moves. Really happy with where we picked up Microsoft today, but that's really not moving around too much. It's kind of funny because here's Softy just like hanging out right here. So I don't have any offers out anymore. We're going to wait to see if the market does rebound. I think Softy at least comes to VWAP, which could be a decently big trade for us. So we're waiting on that one. And then, yeah, Uber also, man. I mean, we're loaded up. So if this can go, then we'll be fine. I mean, back to VWAP maybe as a first piece out, and then we'll wait to see on the high side now. But if this market does rebound, look, yesterday it rebounded at 947. Let's see what happens today. If Uber can go, then that's great. I think we have a good trade on board for that one. And here goes Softy. Yes, sir. Another 30 cents up for Softy. So we're going to watch out for that one. And like I said, we're pretty light on NEO, but that's retraced. Oh, oops, that's a Palantir. Oh, yeah, we can look at Palantir too. Holding that 25.90. Ooh, went to this stock by accident. More work needed, but 26.20 there looks pretty good for PLTR, if I'm going to be honest with you. What's up, Brad?
My daily chart, not cooperating, but we'll show you this one. MDGS, Medigas. Here we go. We're starting to load a little bit. Medigas is a medical equipment maker. Typically, we talk about it in relation to medical devices, but apparently they have a virtual event device that they're pretty excited about. So volume coming in here. MDGS, guys, just popping up through $3.
And market bouncing back 1,300. You know that's a magical number. So out of Tesla, like I said, I'm only able to get the scalp trade out of it, which is exactly what happened both times on the first short. It's exactly what happened on the long trade. I could only get a small win off of it before taking a hit on the rest. So it's been all mixed results and choppy action in what has still been a bit of a downward trend. But we're back above that 13,000 mark. And I think, one of the reasons why I was just saying to you guys, it's been a sort of a choppy morning. And let's take a breath because ultimately, this is not the kind of sell-off that we saw yesterday. And we're still essentially holding 100 points there in the NASDAQ. If you really think about it, it's not too crazy. I know we're headed downside. So I'm going to come back over to Square here if I can for a second. There was a missed opportunity on this one when it took out that low of day. And I think, I want to say we both talked about that 240 area to the downside. And of course, it did get broken and has now made a nice little bottom.
Oh, man.
This is a little bit closer to these lows and starting to think about where you want to pick that one up. So just to sort of come back to these chop zones that we talk about. 215 to like 220 is obviously pie in the sky levels, but let's not forget the low yesterday is approaching on Square. This like 233 is going to be worth it. It's going to be worth a watch. It dipped down once below this price and is now trying to hold it again. So above 13,000, Square off of yesterday's low at 232. You're going to have to sign me up for that. And I think if this is not the downward action that we saw yesterday, there's going to be some value to be had and start at least thinking about picking some of these up. So but above that price, I kind of prefer trading in Square, which I've been ignoring a little bit, instead of this stupid Tesla, which I'll win on a little bit and then lose on the rest like 3 times in a row. Time to go something which seems a little bit more clean using yesterday's low as my out on Square.
What do you guys want over here? I don't know if you, you do this one. I don't know if you can zoom in. I mean, look, there's that Square 240, the second one that I wrote down today. Damn it, didn't even look at that Square. Was too busy doing other things. We're ridiculous. Okay, Microsoft though, now it's a 70-cent win. Look, we got to go back to the well, man. I trade Microsoft really well. Go back to the well, trade it well? Okay, yeah. Microsoft, those of you watching the show, you know that this is one of my biggest stocks. So here we go, up to the upside. I probably made more money on Microsoft than anything else. So yeah, that should have been a good one. Now Fisker, look, some news on Fisker maybe. Back up to 1925. Good little break. That's where we went long the first time through 1930. Let's wait to see. It's pretty choppy. We're able to get out. We averaged in. We were able to get out here. 1858, the bottom. Looks pretty good there for that. So we'll wait to see what happens with Square, with whatever that stock was. Now we're back to Ford, up to 89s now. So, we're back to flat on this one. So thank God that we have this trade. We didn't average in too much down here at VWAP because, again, it looked like the world was coming to an end. So let's just wait to see again what happens down here. 1182, that was my out. Should have averaged in. Silly me, didn't. Now we're back into the money here. So let's go. If Ford can get going, we like it. We like it a lot. Might be worth taking some money out back on the upside. Now, I'm just so disappointed because if I just focused on Palantir like I normally do instead of Uber, then maybe we would have had another rip up. The futures have ripped, man. We took out this side. So like Uber should have taken this out already. And I don't know why it is not doing that. A dollar winner here, back to the upside on Ford, and Uber just punching me in the face once again. So let's wait to see what Uber does. Damn it, picked the wrong one here. Unless it's a late bloomer and it wants to go. So that's what I'm crossing my fingers with here.
Yeah, it's like basketball, and it's like basically shooting 50% from the field. It's like win on one stock, lose on another today. And I think part of that is, and I'm sort of analyzing in real time here, and I can tell it's the truth. It's just you got the volatility yesterday, and you sort of maybe I'm chasing volatility a little bit too much. So let's take a step back, like I said. Thank you very much. I didn't see who it was. QuantumScape threw that one in the chat there. Have a look at QuantumScape. Flip that square around SQ and go QS. So a bit of a double top forming here, and it's not $60, but heck, 59 to 79 is splitting hairs when this stock has a constant 10 penny spread. So keep that in mind if you're looking at any breakout trades. I like 60 way better than 59, 79, which I'd probably never take a long break on. But clearly also some support down at 57.50. I'm looking for some of these longs as the market is holding these levels. So throw QuantumScape out there for a 60 break. I know the high of the day is not that price. I wouldn't even round up to 59.80. I prefer 60 even, and that's what I'll stick with here on QS, guys. And it's 10:20 already. Let's go to Brendan at the big screen for our small cap recap.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. A little bit of a slow morning as far as small caps are concerned. Let's start with SYPR. Neil's been dealing with this one all morning long. I'll give you my take here. Very, very strong. Obviously, in the pre-market, it was trending to the upside. This was a great long if you wanted to take it. 680 up here ended up being that last little pivot. Gave you a nice long. Had to be really quick at the open, but did get up there to almost $8. But once we break back down below, that's when I started getting interest. This was nuts. It opened up, the spread opened up. It was very thin there for a bit, but starting to work downside here through $5. I still have more than half of this, so let's see if we can get down to 450 or even 4. on SYPR, still kind of grinding lower. RRD, the other one that I was dealing with this morning, but this has been a little bit choppy, kind of in a range here for RRD. This was an earnings play we talked about right before the open. 340, 350 up here were these kind of levels from the pre-market, so we'll add to this if we get up there, but it seems to be a buyer down around 3 on RRD. I want to show you Workhorse real quick here. Trying to be patient with this one. I've tried it a couple of times here. 1540, 1550 were a couple of levels from yesterday and in the pre-market. So trying to be patient. We'll see what happens at 14 here, guys. But Workhorse breaking downside once again. Back over to you.
Showing its weakness there, and yeah, I have to come back to this RRD because everything was like looking fine, and then broke that 25 that we talked about. I like that for a long to that level, but then I had mentioned 350 I liked as a bit of a price. It never got there, so never got back into the short, and then just ignored it when it never came into my secondary level. It's now back below this 325. It's all sideways action here, and because I don't like playing the middle on stocks like this, I'm going to go, it breaks 3 or I don't trade it, likely unless it tests the high of the day, which is like a 4 even. So I'm just going to go ahead and get my stop order ready to go a short through 3 even on RRD. Whenever it does happen, I'll be perfectly happy to take that trade. Square bouncing around. I got in the money like 70 or 80 cents, but you know we need a little more than that if we're going to play off that 230.250 is my out, which is yesterday's low. But RRD's likely to be that next trade. I still got that GSAP, which is working pretty nicely. And QuantumScape did not break through. It broke through the high of the day, but stalled at 59.96. This is why I wouldn't take 59.79 long, guys, because it stalls out at 60 anyway, so I might as well take the 60 break.
Finally. Okay, Uber. So not that I'm taking any Ubers anymore because of the pandemic, but now we can at least pay for one. Uber, look at this. I told you guys, maybe it's just a late bloomer. Wasn't sure why this didn't get going. It does come up. We get a little piece out here right ahead of VWAP. Now it's starting to go. So here's Uber, guys. We're log 92s right now. So yeah, hopefully this can get back up. I mean, it goes to VWAP. That's normally a spot that we're looking at. So yeah, we're looking at it. So here it comes, breaking through now. Big win now for Uber. Let's see if we can get into this area again. 50s is a nice area to get out. Do I have an offer? No, I do not. So we will put an offer out here. 50s, a nice little move back to the upside here. $1.70 in the money. You want hot dogs? Open up. Here they come. Hot dog time. A big move for Softy now to the upside. We'll take some out. Bang! $1.70 win on Microsoft. Hey, we got it again today, guys. Look at Ford. Ford ripping to the high side as well. Our average 89. Man, you would think 93s. Well, why is Sean only taking 4 pennies? Watch the share size. Boom! You got to take shares if you're going to trade Ford. And then we do that, and now it goes to the upside. So 4 pennies, we like you a lot. We like 5 even better than 4 on Ford. So let's just keep going. 70 cents now in the money on Uber as it keeps going up. $2 in the money on Microsoft. Neil, I hope some of your longs are working because these ones sure as hell are. Let's go.
Yeah, I got Square here, and it's about $1.50 in the money. Still trying to crack VWAP here, but there's that 13,000 is now holding above. Just keep in mind, it's still in this range, and I'm going to keep coming back to the NASDAQ as long as this is true. Guys, range bound. If we break 1310 here, hold. And I'm going to hold. I'll take some Square out in front of that 240, of course. But I'm definitely holding. If we break 1310, 13.1 on the NASDAQ, Square is going to go a little bit crazy. QuantumScape just broke 60, so I got that long side there. 60.01 as my long. So a couple of new long positions. And if this market can continue and push through 13.1, I think we're going to look very, very pretty on both.
Yeah, I mean, right now we are loving life. Because you can see what's happening right now to the market. We're long again. We were short. We shorted NEO pretty nicely off of this short. Now NEO comes back to the upside. So I think if anything starts to fade out, we should go back to NEO because there's an opportunity there. NEO's very, very weak. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys are holding that stock, but you can see the moves down are way more dramatic than these moves up, right? So I don't know. We got to do some ratio analysis on that one to see if that comment is true. But there goes Uber, guys, up to 60. We are loving that trade. It's too bad because we were bidding 65s down here for a lot of shares. This would have turned our day like, I mean, we already got turned around, so it's fine. But we would have been huge. We did punch a little bit there at 75, hoping that we'd have that 65 again. We don't. Should have been maximum there. And we're just waiting for Uber to go. Obviously, the futures going like this was not expected, but we did know on any kind of a move up on Uber that it had to catch up. If you rewind the tape, you know I said that. So be very, very careful for that one. Microsoft, ching ching, we ring those registers as well. It's fallen down today on Microsoft. A great trade, like we put on shares there, never goes against, I mean, goes against us, 20 cents, 30 cents, never really goes against us. I'll hold that all day long to get rewarded like this, that's for damn sure. And then Ford, we got some out there. I told you like 93, 94s was better. We took some 92s, we took some 93s. Unfortunately, we did not get hit at 94, so we'll have to wait on Ford, but a big trade for us on that one. Only 2 negative stocks today, man. Uber is negative because, again, we got killed early. And then our other negative one is still NEO as we go. And then Palantir, back to 2640. We did take a small hit on Palantir, so I'll count it as a negative stock, but again, it does hold the line on VWAP there besides this little break. So now I think Palantir, especially if the market's going to go, this one probably has a lot of room to the upside, goes Palantir.
Yeah, a little Ja Rule action there, hold the line. Well, I don't know how that turned into his line. I mean, I'm sure someone else had said it even better. But I'm just cleaning up some script orders because I want to make sure I don't get triggered into anything I don't want. Square now trying to make that bounce to VWAP. And like I said, simultaneously, we're getting that 13-1 on the NASDAQ to try to break out of the range. I'm going to cover some of this position just because you don't want this to turn right back downside. And then you took nothing out. You have a chance to reload here. It doesn't break VWAP, so I'll go ahead, and it's going to be a couple of bucks, which is fine on Square. But if I can catch another pullback in front of yesterday's low, and we fail at this 13.10, that just means I'm able to play inside the range while holding a core position. So I'll take the $2. What I wasn't doing on Tesla, which I have to adjust to now because we might not be as volatile as we were expecting today. And that's why you have to take some profit when it's there. Make that quick adjustment. But also go to Brennan when he says to come in.
Cloud computing name IONQ, which is not public, in talks apparently to go public through a SPAC, guys. DMY SPAC, which is DMYI, up significantly on that news today. Just had another little volume spike there through 14 once again for DMYI, guys.
All right, just going to tweet this out about Microsoft here because that was a decent buy there. Follow us all on Twitter, at TraderTV, Sean, Neil, Brendan, and then at TraderTV if you want to get some of that love and see what we're doing. But, I mean, this is a $2 winner right now, so more than $2 here on Microsoft. So, yeah, a little bit of a roller coaster here early, but we talked about why that was. And it was pretty easy for us to find some of these names at the bottom. We loved Microsoft yesterday. We went all the way back. Here, I'll put this back up here. We went all the way back to yesterday's bottom. Sorry, that's not yesterday's bottom. Maybe this was. Down here to see where the chaos was yesterday. It only goes down to 228.75. So what we did was we parked a bid right here, 229.25. Get lucky enough to get filled there. And now we're enjoying the riches of that trade to the upside now as that just keeps on going. That softy. We're light. I have 10% left. So we did hold it. Thank God we held that 10%. So right now we'll wait to see if that can keep on going to the high side. That's a good trade. And then Palantir, we'll go back to that just so you guys know. We'll put some bids down here. We'll see what we can do about 26. Not going to let this one break 25.90 though. So a small little 10-cent run on Palantir. We'll look for that. I know that's not a big hit, but I still do have bids down here, 25.50. I'd rather get long than hold it into that long. And then I do like a 26.75 break on Palantir just in case the market wants to go. Oh yeah, and by the way, 75-cent win on Uber. So no pants down with that Uber trade, Brendan.
Just checking on some of the semiconductors here, guys. The tech stocks still very weak. 1.8% again today for AMD. There was a couple of upgrades and price target increases in this group today, but yeah, still weak for AMD. No other news that I can see. It's 10:30. That means there's an hour left in the session over in Europe. Miss V is watching what's happening over there. What's up, Valeria?
Hey Brandon, European markets are slightly higher from yesterday's session, supported by stronger than expected growth in Germany's economy. Telecom Italia is up more than 9% after forecasting a stabilization in profits and sales. Back to you.
Yeah, it's been an interesting earnings season, guys. Still some bigger names to come this week as well.
And this is going to happen. It happens so many times here. Yesterday, we literally did a trade of the day trade review type of thing. And the theme for CCIV was literally 35 was going to be the price. Today was sort of the same thing for me. 35, 37 was the other level that I liked. And I did try that breakout long in the pre-market. Got a very, very small win and reversed hard. Again, it just could not hold a bit above that price. And on a breakout style trade, I'm just going to get out right away, especially in the pre-market. 35 gave you two cracks. And what's really embarrassing about that is yesterday I missed the entry point because I couldn't get the shares. It was short sale restricted, meaning you need an uptick, so the breakout didn't happen. And then it gave you the pullback right into the same price, and I was able to capture that short. Today, the exact same setup. Right, so my best trade yesterday, the exact same setup came today, and I'm sitting there like losing money on that SYPR because, heck, I like shorting some of these high flyers, but that's completely nuts. You get your best setup again 2 days in a row, that's your A+ trade. You don't miss your A+ trades. It doesn't matter how your day ends up, it's a failure if you don't get your A+ trade. I want to go back to Square for a second here, but I have to slap myself in the face, of course. Square now through VWAP, and we're still not through that level on the NASDAQ, which I like. It just means if we break that level, oh baby, let's get to like 240s on this trade here in Square, and not even crazy that we could be testing at 245 to 250. So I'm still hanging on to this one to the long side. I wanted this. I wanted QuamScape through 60, which I still have. That's up now at like 61, so almost a full dollar in the money there. Those are the two ones I liked. Those are the two ones that are working, but the NASDAQ still hasn't broken the range, guys. Brendan?
I mentioned this one in the pre-market. Big C popping up here, 10.25% volume coming back in, 70, a bit of a level there from the pre-market. They teamed up with Walmart on a deal, guys, for big commerce.
I saw that, but I have no idea what Big C is, so I stayed away. But I did see that note earlier. I just don't know too much about Big C, so let's just stick with what we're doing there, and we can look at Walmart. I don't know if that's going to be, I mean, I like the big caps, but I also like the small caps. You guys see that. So not today, though. I don't actually have any small caps today. Okay, so this one out here, 94.95, that's been the high of Ford. I just wish we would have built a bigger position down here. The problem is, because it's Ford, because it doesn't move that much, I already had too many shares, so not too many, but enough that I just didn't, in that chaos, I was long, you guys know, Softy, Uber, things like that, Fisker, a bunch of different names. So I was very, very nervous that, again, you could just imagine, if you do have those thousands of shares on board and it just keeps on going down, I just felt like maybe too much for me to manage there, so we didn't load back up. But that's just my reasoning there. So let's just wait to see now where it goes. My next offer, 98 on that one, just ahead of 99's, $12 even, obviously. And check out Uber, guys. We ride that one back to the upside. So you guys like the bangers. There's a good one for us again. Uber, we're pretty light on it now, but thank God we resisted getting out on the downside and we held. So that's been a good one for us. And then Softy still, man, $2.25. We just tweeted that one out. I don't know. We have a few new. There it is. We'll do this one because Valeria's back in the building. Of course, it's been here now 2 weeks. So Superman is here on Microsoft. What a great trade this is to the high side. Love this name, and we're just going to keep holding this as the S&P keeps going up. A $2.30 win here. A 75-cent win now on Uber, and then Ford. Only 4 pennies in the money. Come on, Ford. You got work to do. Let's go higher, Brendan.
Another impressive looking chart for you guys. Six Flags, 52-week highs today, 10.8%. So day highs as well, just popping up on volume through 48. Another reopening type name. Six Flags moving, guys.
And every now and then, you know what? Actually, it's not every now and then, because I feel like I'm saying this on a daily basis. Best community ever. So I'm going to give the power up, and it's not for me, it's for you guys. I was trading Square, and someone literally said, flip that symbol around and look at QuantumScape. We looked at the double top. Look, I sort of gave you the reasons why I would not take this break when it broke 59.79, which is the high of the day. And if you liked holding it like 80 cents against you, it worked out. I much preferred the cleaner move through 60 even. It only goes against you at one point, like 10, 15 pennies or so. Now we're off to the races. It just broke 61. I have scalped some of this out in front of 61. I do want to see how far we can go. Keep in mind where this stock has come from. Even to get back to the 50 period would give you like a $2.50 winner here, guys. So lots of obvious targets. 62.50 is going to be the first one for me on QuantumScape. At this point, if it were to take out 60, I would get out at break even and then look for maybe a defensive VWAP. 240 is the level right now on Square, and we still have not gotten out of this range in the NASDAQ. So this is going to be... It didn't just trade 245, it's just dark pool print. Still trying to get through this 240 range. If it cannot, and we hold the range in the NASDAQ, I would get out, probably on the way back, locking in $5 worth of a win, and then hunting for a 240 breakout style trade on Square. I want to be long this one, holding through, or if I happen to get wicked out, getting back in any which way I can, because not nearly as strong to the downside as we thought. So we've got to find something that we liked, pick it up on the dip. Square and QuantumScape, both more breakouts. Here comes a $5 winner if we can break 240, and I want 10.
Yeah, good. Good call there. I love QuantumScape. You guys know we're long in the PA, the personal account at 50 for QuantumScape. So that's a big trade there. Normally a trade that I would have, that's a good break at 60. Good look on that one. So good trade there. You guys can see that, obviously. And now we'll look at something else. So let's go over to, so Ford, I just want to tell you about Ford. I do have another offer at 92. I don't know, man. I mean, the market going upside, I still had hopes of 12 there. But again, I just looked at a daily chart for Ford. We've already been up here like numerous times, man. Like it had a hard time breaking 95. That's where we stopped today again. So no surprise there. So we're going to have to wait to see. Okay, we just got a 92 fill. So we're going to wait to see, but I do like it. We could go high side. No more offers for me on Ford. I don't think so anyways. I'd have a small 95 and then a 98. So we'll wait on that one. Hopefully that can come through. That's Ford. And then we'll wait for everything else. Uber, still a 75-cent win. And then Microsoft's going to come out right now on a 250 break. So if that does break our last 10%, there it is, comes out. Nice little win there. So we're cooking up profits on our favorite stock, Mr. Softy. Comes out on a VWAP break. We only held 10%, but the market's pulling back in. So I think that was definitely a wise decision, guys.
Yeah, this, like you said, it's just still in that range, guys, and that's what you have to keep in mind. I'm going to go back to a stock which has given me basically no trouble. I mean, yet, I shouldn't say that. I'll knock on some wood there, because as soon as you say things like that, you usually get burned. This GSAT, though, is starting to slow down for me. I mean, before, I was getting these pushes down to like $1.88. Now it's just stalled at $1.90, $1.91, and, being short 99s, should I be quibbling over 8 or 9 cents? Versus trying to get like 10 or 11. No, I should not. That's a little bit ridiculous. So I'm going to go ahead and take off some shares here at 91s. Just in the event that if it plays this range, I should be getting back in 96, 97, taking out 91, 92s. When a stock's in 25 million shares, it's a $2 stock, this is what I should be doing with it because we can be active traders through Day Trade of the World, of course, low fees. I can get paid by being passive on the offer if it comes back to 95, 96. So I might as well take advantage of it, which I haven't been because we've been looking for that volatility all over the place. I just want to go back to Square for a second because a bit of a bid, and it's not much of one. But we just tried to get through 240, and then you have this buyer here at like 239.70. I don't know if you guys saw that, like 20,000 shares. Not an insignificant number. If it does hold that, I think all systems go to like 43, 44. But given the fact that once again we're pulling back, if that does not hold, I'll take off the trade and then just look to get back in at either a lower price off VWAP or when 13,100 finally actually breaks for good on the NASDAQ. We can get back into Square anytime we want to. But that big buyer there, if it's not there or if it goes away, gets taken out, I'll get out with that and take like a $4 win or so.
All right, yeah, Square, good trade. We already talked about Square. We love that. My Ford is not doing much. We talked about that as well. And then we just did get out another piece of Uber. I didn't even notice that it was back to VWAP. We only had that 10% left. 20%. So we just got out another piece. Now we hold 10% of Uber as it does break back down below. So it is a negative stock for me today. That's going to happen, guys. So that's one position there on Uber, and we'll wait to see if that does anything. Other than that, we're still holding our Ford. I have 95s offered and I have 98s offered. So call me a bull on Ford, but I do like it today. 2.5%. Remember, we have Biden coming, I think, at 4:45 or so to have a little talk about the semis. So we'll see there the chips shortage for these cars. So we'll wait to see what comes of that. But we like it. We're going to wait to see here on Ford. I think we test 12. We'll see, especially if the futures bounce. Brendan at the big screen, it's 1040.
Hey guys, let's have a look at the S&P 500, see what is leading the way so far. Hey, we just went positive. Back to negative, though, as I'm speaking here. 0.02% for the S&P. It's all about the energy stocks right now and also the banks, as I mentioned. So these two groups here, energy stocks, the entire thing in positive territory. Oxy, 7% to the upside. We had Marathon there as well. 6 and change percent. Halliburton, COG, take your pick. They're all significantly higher on the session. Banks as well. I said right out of the gate this morning they were looking relatively strong. There's Wells Fargo, 1.9%. CFG, ZION, KeyBank as well among the leaders to the upside. UNM in the insurance group, 4.25% leading the way. As far as weakness is concerned, that note from Biden about that executive order for semis not helping the semiconductor group here, the entire thing in negative territory. AMD among the leaders to the downside here, just shifted over. TER, KLAC, and XLNX Also in the red, want to talk about the retailers real quick here. Lowe's reported not good earnings, 3% to the downside, dragging Home Depot along with it. Etsy's here, eBay's here, Dollar Tree as well, DLTR to the downside. Amazon as well, 1.3% DG. So some of the bigger named retailers in the red today. Some of the rest, I should say, of the consumer discretionary group, here it is. Offsetting that though, the cruise lines. 7.5% for Norwegian, RCL, CCL, Marriott's there as well, 3.3%. So a bit of a mixed bag, guys. And when you get a mixed bag, yeah, we're dead flat, 0.01% to the upside for the market. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. And I just would give the outline of what I was going to look to do over here in Square. You can't ignore some of these, we call them clusters or support resistance. On the way down, there was a cluster here around that 239, 240 area, and then it bounced off of this again to the downside. So when you catch this little breakout at 35, you look at VWAP, which is halfway to that 240, and when it couldn't sustain the move through 240 and there was that little buyer that showed up on the level 2, I'm like, if it busts that, I'll just get out. And the reason I like it is if we go back to this 13,000 on the NASDAQ and then can actually end up holding it to the upside, I can buy a dip either using that 37.50, using that 35 that I like. If it comes all the way down to yesterday's low of the day, and let's go to the higher time frame here. If it comes all the way back to these, that crazy washout bottom at 232.50. I know we were below that before, but 232.50, I can use that as a defense. So we have levels that we like to get back in. That's why I don't mind getting in and out of that trade, taking the profit and running when I see a change in sentiment, because if we're going to be this range bound, playing inside of the range is a way to make some money here. And if I had done that in Tesla, I'd be up on the stock instead of down, quite frankly. And that's what I don't want to make that same mistake twice, because if you do that, you're not going to last long in this business.
No, you are not. I'm just waiting for a code here. I got to, so AMC, I don't have shortable shares. I wish I did on this name, but there it goes, breaking back to the downside. I just tried to get shares and I couldn't because I'm not logged in to request more shares here. So unfortunately, we missed that one. But I love that 8:15. Like, oh man, if my kids are watching, I almost, dropped a bomb there. Yeah, like I meant to. I had a lot of shares ready to go short at this 8:15 break right there. The order went out, and then it goes not shortable for us. So we'll reload, we'll regroup, and we'll see about going short on AMC there. I mean, I would have probably the amount of shares that I was trying to take, I probably would have got out there for that 10 pennies, but whatever. Now we'll digress and move on because I need to go get those shares. So we'll get that very, very soon and move on from that. But okay, so we are ready at, come on, 8:05 now? Damn it. Valeria, what up? Take it away.
No, Miss V's not at the desk. But I'm gonna look at this one too because I just realized I have to pay for some shares as well. So just to let you guys know, we have an easy to borrow list, and it's like you get lazy because the day trade of the world's like 99 point whatever of these stocks we're able to go short for free, and then every now and then it's like, oh, we actually have to pay. So I'm gonna go. It's 1/3 of a cent, which is essentially free, and that's, oh man, I should have checked it. Literally, we're paying 1/3 of a cent to go short in AMC, and it gives you a look like that off of 850. I'm gonna watch for a VWAP bounce here play on this, but I'm gonna get us both those locates there, Sean. So we are gonna be locked and loaded and ready to go.
Okay.
I do have to come back over to Square. Just a quick second there. I wanted to make sure you guys understood that, hey, when it comes to preparation, AMC should have been on the radar. Mistakes are going to be made, and I should have had shares as well to the short side. But I'm now watching Square in the retracement. This is why I got out of this one. The market holding that range, so Square's just going to come back down. If it gives me another shot in front of 235 and we're still holding 13, let's take a bit of a dip buy opportunity here in Square. Get in, get out, take advantage of the range. I still have QuantumScape here because that's held 60 even, so still in that long. It's only 39 cents in the money. I'd like to see if it can push towards 62.50 on that particular name. And I'm back into Sundial, guys. 145 was that out price. Starting the short at 141 this time, but now I want some long again in Square in front of 235.
Yeah, you do. Square, a good long. Square, I mean, we love Square. Any kind of rebound in Bitcoin, any kind of rebound in anything, Square is a good trade there. So I go from being pissed off to not being long, being short to being long now on AMC. So we took a 12. Let's wait to see. Again, I think we can get back to 20s. So we'll take some out if it does get back to the 20 level. But we did take some shares long there at 12. Just going to see if 8 holds. But so 8, 12 long. I mean, again, no news. Brendan's already told us that there's been nothing really on on AMC other than momentum. 72.69 moving to the high side right now. Here we go. So a nice little win here for Square. Let's see if we can't keep that momentum for AMC. Let's see if we can't get it going. Went to 817 there. I hope that wasn't the top.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's certainly going to be true. I mentioned it, so I'm going to flip to it for you now, guys. That sundial. It's not exactly the same trade as I had it before, because this is more, it snaps up into the high of the day, the pre-market high, and you're going to see me jump into that short. This is more, it's rolling into this price, so I'm going to ease into it. And I did start at 41. I'm definitely willing to take 42s and 43s. It worked out for me, and I should probably tweet this one out, because really, from a structure, this is about the easiest trade I did have. And let's be candid about it. Let's be honest. The first thing I did tell you before looking at that short was look out for a 136 long. I didn't have it. That's on me. You're trying to manage multiple stocks at once, and sometimes you have to give preference when you're in like a Tesla, or you're in like a QuantScape or Square, some of these faster movers. They're going to take precedence over Sundial, even though that probably would have been a bigger position for me. And Sundial is one of my better stocks, so I do have to do a better job with that. That Square bounce trade now 70 cents in the money. No, almost $1 in the money. I got to take some off. If it gives me $2, I'll play inside the range like I promised I would. But I'm also going to be adding to this Sundial position on the short side, guys. So short Sundial, adding. Long Square, trying to take $2 for half of it. They're going to hold the rest.
Okay, so you might have heard me say like hit it there. Like I don't know, I was offering 17s. It just printed all dark pools. So I guess I'll have to switch over. There, come on, hit it. There we go. So it hits it that time. So there we go. So you guys, thank you. Good luck switching back over. We did get those 17s now off the long 12s. Here we go. Ooh, I see you there, EdgeX. A big little. See ya. I saw you. Not for long there. There was a big size there. Just got taken out. I'm actually offering 24s now to get out to a little bit. There we go. Did I get hit there yet? Bang. Yes, sir. So we go from short to long quickly. We don't even take the short on AMC. We just go long only after that 8 refresh. So here it goes. A nice win, man. Nice money being made. Already paid for the shorts. However, we went long to pay for the short, so it wasted money there. But a nice little move back to the upside. Let's take off another little piece, and it's going 828, 829. Your boys got this one, so let's Superman this on AMC and see how far this can go. Diamond hands, probably not on this trade, but we'll wait. We'll get another piece out here, and then we'll see if we go back to 850, guys.
Well, it is sort of worth saying, just because you pay for the shorts, you don't have to go in that direction. That's actually a big mistake that a lot of traders make was once they've spent money paying for the shorts. This happens on IPOs a lot. They sort of force the action there. If I am going to short this, it's going to be when it retests at 850, at least for me, at least in the short term here. It could roll over at this like 825 to 830 area, but I would take that for a smaller size and a much, much tighter stop than trying it in front of 850, guys. So I'm going to be looking at that AMC as well. I didn't even get more shares. Thank you very much, Sundial, but I'm going to be passive in that. 1 penny matters when you're trading that stock, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I do want to come back over to QuantumScape. It's doing a whole lot of nothing after looking like a fantastic break initially. So it's doing a very similar thing, like it's holding in a higher low. And the reason why, at this point, if it takes out, and usually I'll give it like 10, 15 pennies or so. In this particular case, it happens to be 15. And if it takes this level out, I'll just get out and sort of, sort of wipe the tears, not the tears away, but essentially, yeah, I'm going to wipe the tears away here because I really thought we'd go to 62.50 on this one. But if we're breaking this level here and it's a range-bound day, we're probably going to retest VWAP. It's the same reason why I had to cover Square for a smaller win than I wanted, because the volatility is not nearly as big on some of these moves today, and you have to accept the environment that you're in. So the first 2/3 will be a win, and the last third will be a small hit here on QuantScape. Already time for Money Talks. Wow, it is 10:50. Let's go to the big screen and see what's going on in the land of crypto and currency.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Let's have a quick look at what is happening at the top end of the board, and then we'll focus on Ethereum there. On the chart, the euro is negative. Canadian dollar, another 0.3% to the upside. 3-year high coming into play here for the Canadian dollar. It's almost 80 cents again. It's amazing the move we've had. US dollar weakness coming back into play again today. British pound, though, just went positive. It was negative early on, 0.03%. You can see both Japanese yen, Swiss franc still in positive territory. Same story for the rest, in fact, all the way down. Let's talk about cryptos here. Bitcoin and Ethereum. I had a look at Bitcoin's chart. It's very, very similar to this one, which is Ethereum. Obviously, the moves, slightly different size. We are trying to bounce on both, though, today. Bottom of Ethereum's move was 1355 and change. So we're all the way back to 16 1650 area right now, 1640 in fact, up 7%. So Ethereum actually leading today. Not quite as big a bounce for Bitcoin, 49.5, 3.25%. But these charts very, very similar. 2000 at the top, 1355 for Ethereum. Let's go back to Neil.
Thank you very much, Brennan. And let's actually go back to a name as I'm going to gear up a stop order to go through on Workhorse here. I kind of got away from this, and look, it was a great short, 1 time, 2 times. 3rd time, I'm going to take the hit. Thankfully, it gave you that opening flush down. We didn't trade down to 1290, by the way. It's just some dark pool prints that you'll see, block prints coming through. But we are holding this level. This is going to be 1405, but if you've been following along in this show, you know that I'm going to be looking at the 14 level break. It's not the low of the day on Workhorse, and it is short sell restricted, meaning I'll need an uptick on that break to be able to get shares, but I'll just use one of our good routing keys that we have, we can take advantage of here, and then see what happens. So I want a 14 break to the downside on Workhorse. I've gotten away from this stock a little bit in the last hour or so, just because it got range bound. Once that last short got taken out, I wanted to see if it tested 1550. That was the next level I was going to look at. It never got there. Now I want that breakdown at 14, so that's going to be the next shoe to drop for me on Workhorse. And I'm still trying to get more sundial, but I don't want to chase too far. If it breaks 40, I'm going to see if I can't get some more shares here. There we go. Actually, just got some midpoint, right? So I was able to get a 40.5. Instead of hitting the bid, I took some more shares at the 40.5. I was still trying to get 42s if I can. I think this retracement probably takes me into VWAP, so I like that trade here in sundial. It's not quite exactly what we did before, but it's a small variant of that particular trade. And then the last one we have here, and it's been, I don't know, if I can hit the, where is it? Yeah, there we go. I'll use this for shorts that work. So we'll crash money if a short works out. So we'll give you that GSAT. I remember I adjusted the plan. It wasn't giving me 88s and 89s again for the full 10-cent win. So this time I start taking it off for a 7-cent win just so I can get back short in front of $2, right? So if it's going to show me a tighter range, I'm going to scalp inside that range, whatever it happens to be. Beggars can't be choosers. You can't control what the market is going to do. But if I'm going to maintain an overall short position and try to work in and out of it, that means I have to cover when it's in the money at whatever the bid happens to be. And this is a 190 that's holding. Now that it comes back up, see, good timing. It's back up to 93, 94. I will wait for 96s and 97s. I want to be short in front of $2 on GSAT.
Talk there. Ford not really doing too much, but look at AMC, guys. We just tweeted that out. Hallelujah. Big win for us on AMC. We just took some out at 30 there. We were actually just waiting at 40. How many times is that going to happen to me today? It goes to 39. Actually, we're waiting at 40 and didn't get filled. Oh, it's because I'm using bats. I'm not trying to downplay bats, but if it only goes to a level, you got to be on some of those inverted ETFs exchanges. If you are with the gateways, if you are with us on Day Trade the World, you know what I mean. BossX, BatY, Edge, things like that tend to fill a little bit better. But when you're doing kind of volume like this, you don't have to worry. So I was trying to capture some fees up there at 840. And again, it's just how you trade. It's just a different method of trading, gathering the rebates, and it's just passive versus not passive versus aggressive trading. Anyways, fee structure thing. So 840 there, missed it. I think we could get out another piece right now. I was waiting for that 850 level to come, so we do have a piece out there. But I think it's a little foolish on a stock that's up another 8% today to not do anything about this. So let's get a little piece out again if we can, maybe even right now, 832, 835, and then we'll wait to see. That's our best out right now, 32s. So we could take another piece now, and then we'll see if we can't hold the rest. But that is AMC looking like a great trade here, guys.
Yeah, and you sort of speaking of scalping and adding liquidity, just saw a 35 refresh on AMC, and it's not quite at 850, which I do want to short in front of, and I said I would, so I'm going to. But I took a quick short at 34s in front of it, and sundial's approaching that 145 top, so watch out, guys. That's the level I want. I'm going to add to my position there. But AMC for me, it immediately breaks that 135. Slams right back down, so actually double in. It's this high of day I'm going to give it to. Well, not high of day. It's lower high at 840 that I'm going to play in front of. I want it to be a separate trade, this one versus 850. So you'll probably see me dip out of this short and then think about another one in front of that 850 so long as there's a level that can hold. So I'm risking about 5 to 10 cents on this, no more than that. And if it goes back down to that 825 range, I would certainly take some profit, but also have to make sure I get into that sundial position. 44 is in the offer. It's a big level. So I got to exit. There's 141 breaks, or 840 breaking on AMC. We go away from that one. I can go back to square in a minute. That's $1 in the money. That's nice. But sundial is a level. This is a level I can't miss. And it's the kind of thing where you look at this level too, and I know it's it's a decent size share. It's not what we saw when the stock was doing $1 billion, where you'd have like 3 or 4 million shares on the offer, but it's a significant level today when it's doing 162. It's also that high. 145 has some shares as well. It was a good trade that already worked once, so I'm taking more here at 43 and 44 than I would at 40 and 41. I want my average price to be about 43.5 and no worse than that, so that I'm risking about 2 cents worth of gross in the event that 45 breaks. And I'm not using a stop order. I'm trying to get 45 out. That's why I think I'm only risking like 1.5 cents or 2 cents. So unless I literally like fall asleep at the keyboard, I should be able to get that out.
Yeah, guys, and we always talk about being honest, so we just turned positive right there. We had a rough morning, you guys know that. Not a rough morning, but we did take a big trade there on AMC, and we just actually, like Neil mentioned, so we just got hit there at 40. So that was a big, big win for us, man. Can't be happier with that, the way that's been trading today for me. And that, of course, is AMC. So good out. And we got silly there because we got some out at 32. Remember, I was kind of pissed off that it missed me at 40, and then it comes right back up. So yes, sir. Now a positive day as we just continue to make that money here, guys. Uber still 50 cents in the money. Hell yeah, we'll take that. Haven't got out of that, but it's now at VWAP. So I'm thinking that that's an opportunity to get out now as well. Ford back to 4. Yeah, I mean, this is why we're starting to go green right now again. Ford back into the money big time here for me. We took a little piece off at 90 just in case. Now we'll wait for that 98. No other offers until 98, I promise. And that's about it, man. AMC still wait. Here comes right back down. What a great out. I was just going to say we have 10% left, waiting for, you can do the math, waiting for that 850, but it doesn't look like, Neil, that's going to come. So we'll wait on that. As Ford rips, Uber's ripping, and AMC still holding high. Great trade there. But big screen time. Oh, I see what it's all about here. We can talk about some MindMed. Let's go.
Yes, Sean, CEO of MindMed, joined us on Friday. So stock is up more than 3% right now, and Chad is talking about this, guys.
Okay, Chad. I'm an investor in MindMed here as well, and it's just a space, right? You can actually, there's a psychedelic ETF you can get involved with. My kid was talking to me about that the other day. I like MindMed here. We go to the upside, good volume. If you're looking for an investment here, we'll see what we can do here now. So, I mean, it's above its 50-period moving average. That's important, but not overly, and I'll tell you why. Because the way MindMed trades, I mean, it could go easily back back down here again on that dip yesterday. Wow, what a great buy that was. But I'm an investor in MindMed, and look at this. Look at this bottom right here. 338, 340. I just think if that breaks, we get breached down here below $3, then I am going to hang it up on MindMed. But for right now, I like the upside. It's a brand new space. I've gotten burned holding the bag in cannabis. That came all the way back and we cashed. You know what? Where's the weed, Batman? We haven't done that today. That cash back for us, holding the bag in crypto, that worked as well. I don't know if it's going to work for MindMed. I'm not holding the bag, but it's really based out. And I think for like an experimental kind of situation, a brand new area of entry. I mean, MindMed is first mover. It's here, and we'll just wait to see. The more this gets accepted, the psychedelic, the microdosing, things like that, I think MindMed's in the right space, and I'm thinking for a home run here. So I'm not thinking a double or a triple. I'm thinking this thing can moon from here, but we'll see. I'm not invested heavily in it. It's like I own like 20% of my DraftKings position or something is like MindMed, but I do believe in it. Let's just see what it does now to the high side. That's MindMed, guys.
Yeah, and I'll let you guys know I did get out of that square, pushed to that 240, so we'll take a winner on that. But this is 145 right here on Sundial. I got 144 short, got a better price than even I wanted there. Thought I'd get like 143 half. But if this level breaks, I got to get out and try a quick little scalp long. So it's a manual trade for me. I'm not using a stop. A stop's likely to get me filled at 46 or 47. And I want 45 out, 45 long with a 44 short. It's only 1 penny, but it matters when you're trading this way. Is it already time? It's 11 o'clock. Oh my goodness. We're going to go to the big screen for our European update in Valeria. Let's go, Sundial.
Hey guys, European markets are mixed, mostly in a positive territory at this hour. Spain is up 0.07%. Italy is up 0.51%. France is up 0.15%, and Britain is up 0.22%. Travel stocks as a group are trading higher on the optimism around major countries lifting their coronavirus lockdowns. CCL trading in London is up 9.16%. Back to the traders.
So that was much ado about nothing. I'm sitting there like finger on the trigger to the point where it's like, look, I want to make sure I get that fill, and then it holds. So I am in the short position here. My average price is going to be 144. If it comes back into that chop zone, despite the fact that I started there for literally 20% of my position, I am going to be taking some out on the way down. I still think the retracement can get you to VWAP. I'll throw those bids in there if it gets to that price. But 145 is going to be the key level break for me. I'm going to be all over that. I do have to go over to square because we'll show you when it happens. You're going to see this break here. You're going to see like a long position. I was already long. I got out and accidentally had 2 orders. So I reversed short. I did not want to be short. I got out immediately, paid the spread. So I'm going to forego profit because I wanted to hold some of this through 240. That's what a keystroke error is going to do for you guys, but I'm not going to hold an accidental short in a stock that I'm bullish on. Of course, I just got immediately out. And I didn't want to necessarily pay up here. We're trying to break out of this range to the upside. We're still struggling a little bit. So the square long works. I won't get nearly as much out of it as I think I should have. But if it dips down to VWAP, I can always get back in that regard. Just got Sundial down another tick here. I have not been actually hit yet at 142. I'm trying to get paid, so I'm going to sit on one of those not reverse gateways there, Sean. It's the early part of the move, so I think it can blast through some of these levels. Sometimes we'll make a little bit extra coin that way. But I am reversing to the long if Sundial takes out what is now a triple top. So it's pre-market, opening range, and now here at 11 o'clock, guys, triple top on Sundial. I will reverse into a long in the event that the short does blow up.
Good. Yeah, I don't think the short's going to be blowing up anytime soon on that one. Okay, I haven't said this too much today, so we'll punch it in the face because Palantir hasn't been that great today. So it's just kind of hovering around. This is actually like, you obviously, I'm a bull on Palantir. You guys know that, so hopefully it goes to the moon. But I did want to bring to everyone's attention here, we could break this 50. I'm not going to take the 50. I'm going to take the 60. So if it breaks 60, I'm going to take that, and we'll see if that can go long. I don't know. But what I was going to say about Palantir is I like the fact that it's steadying itself out. I mean, I think that this is good. It's trying to find some volume. It's trying to find buyers. It's trying to find levels. So believe me when I tell you this is a good sign here for Palantir. Even though it's still down today, the market's down. It's down more than the market. I understand that. But the fact that it kind of resisted again and held some bottoms here during that chaos, I think that's a great sign. We're back up, man. We're back to a one-time daily goal. So we may end the day just at this level. So we'll see. Still try to make some money. Okay, so that's the Palantir play. I mean, if that breaks, that breaks. We're going to go long, not short on Palantir. We're going to wait for that. AMC, big trade. We made a good one there. That was all the way the upside. Someone said something, and I wanted to look at it, and I'm checking the chart. I don't remember what it was. There's so much to do. Disney, again, really happy with that one. It wasn't Disney. Yes, sir. Bang! The money's rolled in. Someone said no more pool, Lake Michigan. If I could take my money out of Disney right now and not pay an exorbitant amount of tax, I would probably do that. But we're long in a registered account in Disney. And I mean, congratulations, man. Anybody that was pounding the pavement with me. You know what? Like when this was sub 100, this was the play. I actually got an 80 fill. Maybe I'll show you my statement tomorrow, but we actually got an 80 fill down here when that was happening. I can't believe that. We actually got a square 35 bid as well back in March. But if there wasn't an easier play than Disney, I don't know what was. But we loved that Disney play back down there as if they were going to go, too much lower than this. I didn't think so, but what a great play. We did average in up here, but now Disney, wow, what a mover and so good there, guys. Get your Mickey Mouse hats ready. Oh, I'll bring mine. I have one. It's like embarrassing to say, but it's like 35 years old. I have one of those Mickey hats that they put your name in. When I visited it back in Florida, back, like I said, 35 years ago. That was really fun. I'm looking to give the same advantage back over to, or experience over to my kids. Quickly, before I go, we're not going anywhere, but another name that I've been really liking a lot. I'm long at 21.25. So there you go. So there's the honest truth. This is in my swing account. Rocket Companies reports tomorrow. The short interest on this stock, I'll double check it myself. It's pretty big, and we're going to see, unless they've gotten out of it. I like Rocket. It's held this bottom. It could be a disaster tomorrow. No idea. I mean, if this breaks 1770, it's going to be a problem. I still think, though, with the short squeeze, could be on tomorrow for Rocket. So watch out for Rocket Companies. If you want to play options, go ahead. Timestamp this, 11:05. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But I do like Rocket. Again, a rebuild in the housing sector. Never been stronger in the U.S. Let's see if people refinance their mortgages and chose Formo Quicken Loans, Rocket Companies, to do just that. I'm buying more options today. Let's see what happens. Brendo.
Keeping an eye on Boeing here, guys. Just reading through this story that just popped up. Apparently, the FAA has ordered an expanded inspection of 777 planes because of those engine failures and specifically regarding metal fatigue. So a heads up on Boeing. It's up huge today, 5%, but not much of a reaction on the negative side at this point anyways. Well, that was a nice move through 220 today for Boeing, guys.
Yeah,
220? Go ahead, Neil.
Of course. I mean, it's strong. It's worth noting that it's Pratt & Whitney that makes that engine, so you have to be a little bit concerned about that company. I want to come to AMC because remember that 850? It's sort of double topping here at 842 and putting in that range. I'll tell you right now, Square is at 242. That's obviously a strong one to the upside. I like that one for the bottom pick. I just wish it's like Churchill yesterday. There was like, you can win on the trade, but it's not necessarily going to be perfect for me. And it's the same thing. So as much as Square is, it's not going to be my top stock, but it's pretty darn close. But it was a fantastic one. I just didn't quite get as much out of the trade as I think I should have. Alert to this little GSAT here, and it's looking, normally I'd be averaging into this, but it's just showing a few too many signs that if it breaks 2, I might want to be long this puppy if $2 goes. So I'm not going to average into this one again. If at this time of day, even with the volume tapering, it's going to test my level, and I can risk like 2 pennies, I'll go ahead and take that out and then go to the long side. Because I think it gives you like an easy 5 or 10 cents on a push through $2. And Sundial, yes, the amount that I got out, a quarter of my position at 42, I'm going to try to get right back into Sundial in front of this 145. So if I can get like 44s, which should happen any second now, I'll go ahead and do that. I'm still getting out and reversing long if 145 breaks, and it's a manual trade for me. So if you see me staring at a level 2 with my hands on the keys, because I don't want to miss 145 on Sundial. So Square, good. It was a good bottom pick. It should have been better. Got to be honest about that, guys. I should have been still holding some part of that position for 243 to 245, which we did mention is our ultimate target.
Pop a wheelie time, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. Check out Ford. We did it. Ford, big shares, big position, big winner for Ford here as we go right to 12. Look at this level here, guys. We're long 1188. You might not think that 12 cents is a big winner. It is. I'll take it. And I just took some 98s. Let's see what happens with 12. We did already talk. I mean, huge trade here. We did already talk about this. This is the daily. So you see 12.17 is the high. The last time we were up here, 12.10. And so I think that we could probably break that 12. I don't know if it happens right now. I don't have an order to go long through a 12 break. I think I probably should. So yeah, maybe we'll just keep playing the momentum. But I do think 3% up is quite nice. The Dow, I don't know if Brendan's going to come with this, but the Dow just hit record highs. What's up, Brendan?
My charts just crashed, guys. So I'll show you. I don't even have a daily chart. I was going to show you Workhorse just popping up. A heads up. Could not trade below. We talked about 1475. We talked about 1450. Could not trade below that. So Workhorse popping to the upside, guys.
Oh my goodness, I gotta watch that level too, because I liked 1550 on Workhorse, so that's breaking up. I'm not gonna, unless we break 15, I'm not gonna cancel my breakdown at 14. So I have an order to go short if it breaks 14. I think I'll leave that in. Now, if we've taken out 15, maybe I'll go ahead and cancel it and think about the next level to work. But 1550 was a level I liked, and I was willing to play both directions here just because of how big the gap is. I just got back into some shares of Sundial at 44. At 45 breaks, we're still gonna reverse into the long, but back in at 44, which means rinse and repeat. Throw some bids at 42 if it goes back down to VWAP. Nice little opportunity there. But I'm not, and actually I did cancel it. When we tested the low, I canceled my 1550 buy on Workhorse. I'll just throw that back in there, guys. If it breaks 1550, I am going long in Workhorse. So once again, despite the fact I've only been short so far, I am willing to go both directions, even if we're day traders here, guys. So it doesn't matter what I think about the stock. I will play the momentum if it's going to be there. And 1550 has been a level for me all morning.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what you have to do. Just play the momentum and then play off that stock. So, yeah, we did have the Workhorse short early. We'll see what it does. Okay, so we just got out at 19, or sorry, whatever that price was there, 11.99 here. So we will wait to see what can come through on that one. 11.99s and change here on Ford. So I do have a break now if it does go back above right now through 12. I'll take a small win. I'll take a, small position, more shares if it does break above 12. We'll see. I only want 1201s. I don't want to pay through the nose for anything here. So we'll wait to see if it does go up. I mean, I like on this trade, I missed 90s and for some reason got 93s and 91s. So I think this could get a lot, pretty aggressive through 12. So I'm only going to go 1201, 1202. I don't need to get marketed all the way back upside here in case there is a big one. But we're already long 88. So let's hold a little piece just in case we don't get it. But we are looking at that 12 break big time trade. Oh yeah, and by the way, another one, guys. Like, I know we're slapping some faces around today, but we'll do this here for AMC. There it is. What's up? For AMC, because we're back up to 50 right now. So a good trade. We're holding on to this one. I don't have any orders to get out of this one. Well, I do. I have a 48 because that's where we stopped last time. So let's wait to see if I get those 48s. That'd be nice. And if we get those, then let's just regroup, see what happens through 50, hold a small piece, just like we're doing on Ford, man. Uber also, like, this is the thing, man. We really, we absorbed that down move today, and we're able to make a lot of money on the way back up. So today, a little bit different than yesterday. We keep our streak, man. We're positive again today, and it's going to be a good one. Let's just keep it going. Uber, though, I still think Uber can go higher. I like Uber for a longer-term play, too.
Yeah, and speaking of that 850, I'm not, just because I'm in Sundial doesn't mean I'm going to ignore 850 on AMC. It's going to be a very similar play. I mean, if I can get 46, 47, 48, I'll go ahead and grab that with a stop through the high. I've got my bids there, so I can kind of, I mean, that's going to manage itself over in Sundial, except for getting out at 45, so I can go over to AMC. And I can tell you right now, score is at 245. So there's that target for you. And this is the thing, it's going to happen to you. It's like Murphy's Law, right? If I make that keystroke error and get out too early, it's a winning trade is a winning trade. But it's not as if it's likely it's not 50-50, man. It's like if you get out too early, it's always that it goes the other way. So it goes in my favor. It just means it would have been even better. But it is what it is. It's going to happen to you from time to time. A winner is a winner. 850 on AMC. I am much like Sundial. I don't know if I said it. I will reverse into the long trade if it does break 850. I just started the position at 46. If I can get like 48, 49, I will add to this as well.
Yeah, we got out at 48. So now we have that 5%. Yeah, exactly. So
what hit at 48? Sorry, what did you get filled on?
48s. I think Boss, I'll have to double check.
Yeah, I should have gone, you know what, and this is the thing. So AMC moving.
Actually, I got filled bats. It must have cleared the level.
Oh, baby, I should have got, I stink. I know what I used. I shouldn't have used Memex.
Okay, so we did get that bats at 48. Now we're only holding 5%, but it's all off this 8-10 long. So we're still laughing at that one. And I'm not laughing too hard here. I may get out another piece of Ford just in case. Well, look at these futures. Just in case this is the top. So let's get out of one more piece, and then we'll hopefully get that 12 break, guys. What's up, Bren?
Oh. No? Not maybe, okay, we're not going to Brendan there. I got that 46, just took some out at 40 to scalp that trade on AMC. If I'm going to be sitting there risking, 2 or 3 cents, ideally, or 4 or 5 maximum, I'm going to take smaller profits as well. So it's about rinse and repeat as many times as you can. But I do also have to remember I am doing a manual trade over in Sundial at 45, which is on the offer. So simultaneously, I have a stop order to cover me on AMC because it'll move a little bit more. But on Sundial, I'm going manual trade. So short both these off of high of day breaks, and I want both of them to the long side if they go. I just hope it doesn't happen at literally the same second because you can only manage so much. It's unlikely that it does. The market doesn't know that I'm in both these positions. Even if you think it's going against you like that, it's usually just bad luck. So AMC now in the money, so I'll go ahead and see if I can't get my next fill for 10 pennies, and then 15 and 20 I also like. There's the fill on AMC. We'll do a power up for that. But my eyes have to be peeled to my Sundial level 2 because I cannot miss this punch. Punch removing liquidity at 145.
Okay, so update time. We did get some Palantir there. So we got some Palantir breaking through 60. What's my average price? 61. It rips right away to 65. We took out a piece. And then I guess this was a mistake. I didn't mean, we got out of a little bit there at 58. It doesn't matter. We're still in 95% of our Palantir there. So let's wait to see. We still got 2670 possibly coming. I wanted, you know what? Like, this is the thing. I should have taken this 50 hindsight, so it doesn't matter, but I should have taken that. I thought that if we did break back a little bit more than 50, then we'd have a better trade on, a little more conservative there. So let's just wait to see now on the upside. Let's see if we test 70 here. I don't know if Palantir goes positive. I think there's definitely a great opportunity for that. It might have seen the bottom, and if Miss Wood, if you could tweet something out, that'd be great. So Palantir to the upside here, and big stuff happening. Uber still 65 cents in the money, and here goes Ford. We just got out at 99, but we're holding a piece, though. You can see the damage we're doing, man. AMC 30 cents in the money, Ford 10 cents, Palantir hovering around flat, and then Uber with the big monster win, just breaking through VWAP. We're still long at 53.75, guys. Brendan, something?
There we go. Yeah, new graphic for lunch money, guys. We haven't done it for a couple of days. It's been a busy week. So we'll talk about 3 trade ideas going into the end of the show that could possibly pay for your lunch. We're not talking about home runs. We're not talking about big monster trades that are going to pay your mortgage off. But how do we pay for lunch? Who wants to go first here, guys?
Well, I mean, I was going like the whole time. I was like, it's going to be sundial on the long break. So if I get burned on the short, which I made some money on the short trade, so I'll have to turn to the AMC 850. But I'll let you guys know that right now sundial broke 45s, and I was able to get 45s long. I've already scalped a little bit out, and if it continues to run to 150, I'll be happy with it. And that's lunch money. You're looking for if it comes back down, you can lose nothing by getting right back at 145. Or it can go to that 150 and you make a few pennies there on bigger size to your liking. But because that's a bit of a cheat, it's already happened, I will give you guys another and then go for AMC. So it's kind of betting against myself, but it kind of isn't as well because I always want to reverse long. So let's go AMC 850 long break just to give you another one that hasn't happened yet. I'm in a short position that's currently in the money, about like 8 or 9 cents, and I'm taking profits on the way down. But I do feel if 850 breaks, that's a nice little scalp, probably to like 860s to 875s for an easy style trade. It's a bit of a double, triple top here, similar to sundial. So very similar look for both those. One of them already worked seconds before we did the segment, so I'll give you AMC 850.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. And look, I'm going to stick with what's been working, man. Watch out for this Ford. This is going to be, if you just want to have one play here, it's going to be Ford breaking through 12, and it's going to be lunch money. So, I mean, depending on what kind of shares you have. I know, I see you, Cincinnati Video Guru. Look, I've already crushed Microsoft. We'll talk about that in a minute. I do see that level. I mean, I'll talk about it. So $12 to break. I like that trade. And because we're only looking for 4 or 5 cents, if you do get a retracement back to 95, let's say a 94 break, I would get out. So I think that's pretty well structured here for Ford. A 12 break gets you probably to 12.05. You take 1,000 shares, there's your $50. I think it's probably worth it on that. So 12.01, you need that 5 cents to 12.06, 12.07. I think it's there, and I think you can give yourself that same kind of like 1-to-1 risk on the downside, but just play momentum. Remember, Mr. Biden coming later on today to talk a little bit about some of the struggles that we're seeing in this department. So let's wait to see here on the motorcade side. Let's wait to see here. $12 break. I like it for Ford. That's going to be the lunch money for me. Brendan, give us one.
All right, I guess I should have gone first because this already just happened. I'm going to live dangerously and go against what Sean was just saying. So Uber, guys, 54.50. I was watching 54.50. I just took 40 short there versus 50. Just got out some at 0.5. So Uber short. Yeah, sorry, it was a little bit late on the execution there, guys.
That's hilarious because that's exactly, like, come on, Brendan. I mean, that's exactly where I got out and now holding that 5%, but what a great retracement back down. Like, wow. I don't even, maybe this is a good opportunity maybe to go bid again. Maybe I'll do reverse lunch money now and go long here. I don't know why that happened, but it did happen. So that's all that matters. Uber all the way back to the downside. Great trade, Brendan, and great mind because we both thought the exact same thing when we saw that top. So good play there, Brendo. Back on Palantir again. Now I'm not going to be getting out of any more. Now we'll wait to see how high this one can go back to the upside there. Just retested 50. Got a little nervous that it might break. We got some out at 58. Now we'll wait. And then I still do have some dreams of some higher prints here for this name. And then also for Ford, of course, as that is our lunch money trade. So right now, Palantir back to flat. We're long at 61. It's at 62, just bouncing around. I really like how calm Palantir has become. I think that's going to be advantageous for us investors moving forward.
Actually, it's a fair point there because it was doing so much volatility in addition to the volume. It still has a lot of volume interest there. One thing, just to reiterate with lunch money, at times you're going to get trades which they either happen or they don't. So if you look at like an 850 break, if it doesn't break through on AMC, look, we're candid about it. I told you guys I was sitting in a short position in the money on AMC, and it's still in the money here as I have like 846 short. But I'm out reversing to a long all day, every day. I tried 2 cracks at sundial. I never got more than 1 cent out of that breakout long. So it sort of is what it is. That's the one that I was already in, so I don't want to give that as a cheat. But here comes AMC to the downside, so apologies if this one doesn't trigger, but we did show you the idea of getting short in front of 850 as well, which now 20 pennies in the money. I'll continue to get some fills out all the way down to probably 8 even, which would be the ultimate target for me. I wouldn't hold any farther than that on AMC, but getting those bids out as we speak on this little bit of a retracement. And I wouldn't normally think about shorting Sundial here, but I don't know, it just feels a little bit strong. I'll stick with AMC for now, but Sundial, that failed break at 45. 45 to 46 is all you got. You get a few shares at 47, and that's about it. And then basically get out flat. The last 20% I took a 1 penny hit on, so an overall flat trade on the Sundial break, but AMC working rather nicely to the south side here. And still, Square is going to be the one that got away this morning. So it's still one of my best stocks. I can't be too angry about it, but this little error here, and we miss our 245 target. So we're long once, we bought it on a dip, and then we bungled it around here at VWAP, guys. And again, it just feels like every time you make a mistake, you end up paying a double for it, but it goes to 245 eventually without me on board. I hope somebody hung on to that one, because sort of finding where the bottom was going to be, that 13,000 holding, and then getting into some of these longs and trying to hold them was the way to go today, especially when we slowed down and said we were not as weak as yesterday. No matter how much it felt like the market was coming down, it just was not having any kind of follow through. So finding some longs was the way to go, and Square was certainly a good one.
And guys, forget about lunch money. What about a couple payments for some bills here? As Palantir, man, what a great trade there was. 80s out, 76s out. So let's just see. It does make that move back up. It's not a huge trade, but again, it all depends on what kind of share size you're trading. I like this now that we've broken out. So orders time. Let's just have a quick little look. We did fall off the high today, 27.72. We did have some action around 27 even, but not a lot. There is some levels here. We did have a closing sprint yesterday in the market. Where did we close yesterday to be exact? Let's call it right around here, 26.75. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at right now. Anyways, 27. We get up to there, we're going to be monstrous anyways. So let's just wait to see what happens with Palantir. But yeah, good trade, getting some out. There we go. Let's go build this up. We'll see if it can go, man. NASDAQ going to turn positive, and Palantir will be at 28 before we know it. So here we go, Palantir to the upside. Let's just continue, man, to run this thing. We're now at, I don't know, 1.5 days total. So look, I can leave now. We'll be happy. It'll be a good day, but let's see what else is in store here for Palantir. Run, baby. Let's take some out, man. Another 30-cent win brought to you by yours truly and brought to you by Palantir. Also, thank you for the shout out there. Rocket Mortgage. Was I not just talking about this literally down here? Wow, right up to $20 right away. Let's see where those options can go for us. Hopefully already running in the money, but Rocket Company's tomorrow, guys. What a big win right now. Backflip this one out for Palantir. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and 30 pennies from top to bottom. So actually, check that. It's going to be 40 pennies top to bottom. I talked about that 80 even on AMC. So we get 8.46. You saw that short real time. I had bids all the way down. It pulled back last time, installed at 8. I reversed to the long side at 8.06 because I told you guys 8 was going to be the target to the downside. It immediately gives you 6 pennies and then a 10-cent scalp. I mean, it's just as easy as that. Sometimes you will see a stock that's holding these sort of reversals above VWAP, and it's bullish and it's strong. So even if you have a short, going in front of these levels, it just makes a heck of a lot of sense to me. And this little wick down here was like $7.98, $7.99. So you use that $8 range. It doesn't even touch $8 on AMC before giving you like a golden reversal there. So I still like that 8.50 if it breaks. This is one that you never know. It could be a power hour type of move. Maybe it's like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. But if 8.50 goes, I think it's a good one on AMC. Despite the fact that I made money on the short, I still like that long break.
Guys, 2 times daily net now as we get more out here at 27, man. Wow, Palantir. Okay, so yesterday is a distant memory, and we just move forward, right? It's like gambling with your accounts if you're trading sports betting, gambling with sports betting. It's like whatever play you had yesterday, it doesn't matter. What are you doing today? So here we go, $27, a big win now. We talked about that at 26.50 and it basing out. I also talked a little bit about, that we wanted it to settle down, and it did do that. So when it breaks levels and the futures start going, man, it's just a monster win for us. So this is a big win once again here for Palantir. And now we're at 2 times daily target. So hell yeah on that one. Ford looking to break through 12. I hope this can happen for us live on the show to show you what's going to happen here with Ford. But here it goes. Okay, so here we go. If this does happen, we'll try to get long at 1201s. It looks like they're hitting it. Look at all these D prints. D. Those are dark pools, if you guys are wondering. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem here for Ford. But we're going to see if we get 1201s. I didn't cross up too high, but here we go. If Ford breaks, there's still lots of work to do here. Let's just see if it does break. I still have some shares on board. We're going to wait to see if this one happens. You'll see it pop hop into my blotter, but still a lot of work to do. It may not get through 12 right now. Look at the futures bump, bump, bump as Palantir goes bump in the night, as Uber goes bump in the night. I talked about reverse lunch money there, Brendan. That would have been a good trade, but let's wait to see Ford now upside, and Palantir bounces off 27. Good thing we did take some outs.
Yeah, absolutely, and just gonna go. Oh no, we have to go to Brendan. It's already like 11:26, guys, so a lot to cover. Just want to let you guys know the AMC is sort of rounding out a little bit, and Sundial's back at that 145 mark. I definitely like a 150, probably a little break at 150 if it wants to take that. You can scalp that as well. But let's go to Brendan. It's a busy board, led by a few that are, as usual, in the middle there. So let's talk about some earnings.
Yeah, I mentioned there was a few still to come as far as earnings are concerned. Busy to say the least. Wow. Yeah, go ahead, guys. Have a look at aftermarket and before the open tomorrow.
NVIDIA is right in the middle, so you don't have to like worry about like. That's a good thing about the board. So you just kind of focus on the middle here. But I do see Moderna. You're going to see Best Buy. Wow, this is going to be a busy because L Brands in there. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a busy day for us tomorrow in terms of the earnings board. I don't know if I'm missing anything that really stands out there. I know you were mentioning a few names there, but NVIDIA, that's going to be the big one for me.
Yeah, I mean, watch AMD because of NVIDIA, and I like AMD better than NVIDIA, but a good board for sure. And I just want to bring to everyone's attention as well. Oh God, my chart actually froze here, it looks like. Did my daily chart work? I had talked about Best Buy when it was at 100, and again, those of you that watch the show know that to be true. And now it ripped up to 120, 125, now pulling back in. This is gonna be a very interesting one. You can't really buy anything anywhere else other than Best Buy, so let's wait to see how that comes through. Very nervous hands if you're trading Best Buy. I think you can break out, man. Watch for a 125. That could come through on Best Buy, especially. So the only thing that I'm nervous about with Best Buy is they could guide lower just because that they're thinking the pandemic may spurn, of course, more people out shopping, less people at home needing to improve some of their home improvements as far as electronics are concerned, you know, playing video games and whatnot may hit Best Buy. So let's just see what that wants to do. Palantir, though, right back upside. Oh, yeah, my charts are frozen. I can't show you my daily chart or my minute chart, but only 2 minutes to go here. Palantir still moving in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, one more thing before we get out of here, but just want to point out NVIDIA. If it does one of those like patented, hey, let's sell all tech on earnings, no matter how good they might end up being. If you get 510, you're absolutely laughing. I don't think it's going 10% to the downside, but you never discount in this market those types of swings. You learned that lesson yesterday by not having some pie in the sky bids out there, right? I mean, and this is the thing. So let's not make that same mistake. But also watch like a 535 area. We tend to get hungry every now and then, or at least I do when I see what national day it is. This one is, I don't know, it's in the middle. Miss V, let us know what it is. What's the national day?
Hey team, I hope you're having a good day and enjoy the show. Well guys, the likes are kind of at the bottom, and please help us at least to get to 3,000 of them. To do this, just simply click the like button. Why are you keep talking to me, Rob? Well guys, happy National Tortilla Chip Day, everyone.
So it's National Tortilla Chip Day, which is interesting. That's fine. This is a vehicle for salsa. The more important thing is we're at like 2,400 likes. So here's what we're going to do. Our target is 5,000, and getting halfway there, I mean, I don't know. These markets are active. Today we'll show you winners and losers. I'll show you guys me getting thrown around on Tesla this morning and taking some hits there. Bungling Square, despite the fact it's going to be one of my better stocks today. It is what it is. We can do better. But we need to get to that 5,000 mark. So here's what's going to happen. If we get to 5,000, today is Wednesday, last time I checked. If we get to 5,000 Thursday and Friday, I will remove all of the gray hair from my head for you guys on Monday. And if you can't figure out what that means, I'll be a cue ball for you guys on Monday. It is what it is. My daughter doesn't love the look always, but I think it looks pretty cool. So get us to that 5K, put a smile on Miss V's face, and we'll make sure we fix that.
Let's just do 5K now and get this over with.
If we can double up in 2 minutes, I'd be very happy to see it.
Let's get to 5K right now, guys, and let's see that. Although I like Neil's head shaved anyways, so
really? Thank you.
I think it looks nice. Yeah, whatever. And you said the daughter does or does not?
Erin does. So Erin, like, she's like, it's too different. So she's like, where'd your hair go?
Right.
She gets all scared. That's all it is. Like, she's turning 4, so I mean, she's young. It is what it is. But I will do it for you guys. If you we get to 5,000 before I get in the show, of course, I'm not going to put it to you guys to get there today and tomorrow. But if we don't, you got to make sure Thursday and Friday we get to that round number. I mean, I don't know what else we can do. It's a fun show. The market is rebounding. We talked about how it was range bound, and if we broke to the upside, look for some of those long plays. That's what ended up happening. So it's been a fantastic day as always, guys. But there is still time. It literally is click. You hit the like and put a smile on everybody's face. We do the show.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get it today, man. But we'll see. Tomorrow we will, with that promise, I'm pretty sure. Palantir up to 94.95, guys. So just watch out there. Ford does not break. We're running over time. Let's just wrap this thing. But there's Ford still at 12. Watch out for that level if you have your eyes on it.
Someone just made it. You know what? If we get to at some point, I should just grow an afro as well because someone thought that'd be funny, and I did it once as a prank and it looked pretty cool. Anyways, for the entire team, guys. Oh, Quantumscape's at 61. That's awesome. For the entire team, for Miss V, for my man Sean Katina, for Brendan Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts, and I'll be bald if you guys get us to 5,000 tomorrow and Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.